All right, hello and welcome back to a brand new season. AMX, the AMX Global League is back with season 4. We are here and better than ever. We're going to be starting things out with a classic race for AMX One. It is NASCAR Next Gen cars on Talladega. So an iconic car track combo, and we're going to be having a lot of those this season. Some might say more than ever before. But just like we have iconic combos in cars and tracks, we also have some iconic combos in commentators. So joining me once again, first of all, hello, but also Connor. Connor, you're back again for another season of AMX. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Chilling. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, but I'm ready to bit of Talladega, boogity. Let's go racing.
That's a great way to put it. Couldn't have said it better myself. And now it's time to check out what's going on this season. So while I, depixelate myself, we're going to talk about AMX Global League Season 4 because things are going to look a little bit similar to last season with a few minor changes. So we got $20,000 on the line. We're going to be running this league from all the way at the end of February 27th all the way to April 24th or 21st. There we go. We do have a lot of races this season. I believe it's 68, if I'm not mistaken. And we are bumping up the time a little bit. So we're going to do 20-minute qualifiers, then a top 15 reverse grid, and then 20-minute Heat 1, and then 20-minute Heat 2 after another top 15 reverse grid. The reverse grids keep things fun and exciting as the races go on. So you never know who's going to be able to win, and then if they're going to be able to do it all over again. So it's going to be a pretty exciting season. And got a lot of good feedback on that format from last season, so we're bringing it back again for Season 4. Now, we do want to mention that driver cams are required for the AMX Global League. Previously, it was a little bit optional. Now, they are required. So we do want to see your face. If you need recommendations for a $5 webcam, hit us up in the AMX Global Discord. We can help you out. Balances are paid out $100 every month. If you make over $100 in the AMX Global League, we're going to pay you out once a month. And of course, we're racing on Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want to sign up to race, you can head over to amxrace.com to do it. Here's a look at our schedule. Note that this is in GMT. That is Greenwich Mean Time. It's just sort of the big one, the middle, 0. So find out what your time is in GMT because this is what it looks like. Starting at 5:50 for AMX One on Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sunday. Of course, we're doing it at 7:20 for AMX 10 immediately following AMX One. And of course, you might be used to this screen. This is the AMX One race prize pool. So for AMX One, we got $100 on the line every race, $100. And we're splitting it up between the top 15 spots. So you got a great chance at winning something, especially if there are less than 15 drivers. You're going to come up in the top 15 and cash in. And we're giving away the same amount of money for qualifiers, Heat 1 and Heat 2. That means for qualifying, your qualifying place will give you cash. First place is $7. And of course, there is the $1 for fastest lap during Heat 1 and Heat 2. If you're the fastest car out on the track, or you're not having a good race and you want to cash in on that dollar, be the fastest car on the track, and that will get you that $1 for the fastest lap. And of course, with $7 on the line for first, second, and third, that makes the total combining with the fastest laps a $23 total. This is a look at our promotions. We are running a couple of them. Coming up in not too long, we're going to be running some DC tickets. That's discount tickets for seasons. So we've got 6 classes of races this season, and you'll be able to buy a season ticket for each one of those classes. Should be up within the next 24 hours, so keep an eye out for that. Our D-3 promotion is sort of an early bird gets the worm kind of deal. If you sign up for a race 3 or more days before the race, you get 30% off. So when the races are listed at amxrace.com, they'll be listed at 30% off, and then 3 days before the race, they will go back up to their normally scheduled prices of $1 and $10 respectively. So you want 30% off, sign up early. amxrace.com is the place to do it. And as we spin above a very iconic track, I'm going to turn things over to my good friend and co-caster Connor Nixon to run us down what and why this is so iconic.
What an iconic racetrack, Talladega in the US of A. Built in 1969. God, I feel really young when I say that out loud. So then the track length is 4.2 kilometers. Very, very big racetrack. And yeah, I would not want to walk that at all. But yeah, legendary racetrack. Technically 4 corners. A lot of people would say 2, but it is 4 corners. And they're very long. And yeah, Talladega, what a racetrack. And yeah, move on to the race car, I guess.
No, that's a great. It is iconic, of course. Talladega, Alabama. Great place to go racing. And what are we racing here today, Connor?
We're racing a next-gen NASCAR. This thing's brand new. They just came out with a new model, and they look fantastic. New Mustang and a new Toyota, and they weigh 1,500 kilos with rear-wheel drive and 670 horsepower. Reed, that is incredible, and I love these things. These goes up to about 300, kilometers or higher, with a bit of bump draft and a bit of slipstream on top of that. And these race across massive ovals, street circuits, road courses, anything you can think of. These cars are amazing to drive.
These are NASCAR next-gen cars, or Gen 7, whatever you want to talk about them as. And as the future of NASCAR racing, they, they've had some issues. Crash testing was described as like a brick getting rammed into a stick of butter. So testing, important for these little guys, but they are the future next-gen cars. Now, Connor, you're more of a supercar kind of guy. How do those stack up against NASCAR next-gens?
Actually, they're very similar in how they drive. It's quite incredible. The V8 supercars make the downforce on the back wing, but these things make it all under the car. And yeah, these things are completely different. But we're going to jump to qualifying, and we're going to see these things absolutely roar around Talladega.
And I love watching them run around Talladega because just look at the camera, right? You could absolutely flat out, even around the like you said, corners. This is going to be fast and furious, and I love that we get a chance to start things off with an iconic car on an iconic track. And so we're going to jump right into qualifiers. And qualifiers important, and we are only going to get an opportunity to check out. Wait, I guess we didn't actually discuss this, but in previous seasons, qualifying on Talladega was group qualifiers, since we had a lot of drafting and a lot of craziness and shenanigans in that respect. So hopefully we see a little bit less of that this year.
Yeah, hopefully we do. And we've got the little webcam up on the bottom left. Look at this. Reed already said it. Everyone needs to run one, and everyone looks great on them. And we're on board. And look how calm he is, Reed. I'd be holding onto that wheel, absolutely screaming. But he's doing a fabulous job of keeping that load line. Heaps of grip. It looks like it's about 42 degrees out there though, so it is cooking. It's not a cold track. And yeah, look at these cars, man. They are such a good looking car. I love them, and this is the new Camry too, like I mentioned. So I don't know if I'm a bit of a Toyota man or a Mustang man now with these new versions. They look very smart. So yeah, future of NASCAR. I'm liking where it's going.
Yeah. So we got Camaro, was it ZL something? Mustang GT, and of course Camry TRD that Connor was talking about here, coming around the corner. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not being lied to, we have pretty equal representation here. We got 3 Toyotas, 3 Chevys, and then a lone Ford out on track, the Mustang GT. The car my brother drives. He doesn't drive particularly this model of it, the grocery store and back, but the branding is consistent and on point. And as our qualifying laps come through, just want to mention that this is lone qualifying, which is what I was alluding to earlier. And that is, I think, an improvement, especially for NASCAR, because if you have group qualifying, then you get a lot of team drafting, and it doesn't become a test of your own individual speed. It becomes a test of how well can your teammate drive in front of you. So speaking of teammates, we got Fabrizio Belziti up in P1 currently, provisionally, for now. 52 seconds around Talladega is not bad. But as far as this compares to the original Talladega Super Speedway lap times, it is pretty on point. If you're looking at a normal NASCAR Cup car, right, you're looking to hit about 46 seconds around this track. So the next gens have not been super well tested, but for like an Xfinity car, that's going to be about a 48.6. So you start to get close to these times, and we should see these times come down a little bit. Talking to a lot of our racers a little bit ago, and they were saying, well, they really race NASCAR primarily, and so we are going to be looking for some improvement as they grow a little bit more comfortable with these cars and tracks. Connor, what's going on with Fabrizio Belziti?
He looks like he's on top and doing a good job, and he's just keeping that low line. I did see him go up high though to get that nice run onto the straight there and get a really nice lap in, and you can see he's absolutely flying. Look how close he's getting to that yellow line. You want to be as close as possible. You don't want to be really high up in middle of the track. He's doing a really good job, and he's going to come across the line, and I would say he's going to go faster. Listen to that roar, Reed. It is just an absolute bellow of a noise, and we all love it. And across the line, and he's still on top. And I'm loving just sitting here listening to the noise. But yeah, he looks really calm too. Like nothing big on the steering wheel, just driving around. And he's doing a good job out there, and a good paint too. Car number 6 doing an absolute fabulous job.
Yeah, I was talking to Fabrizio a couple days ago. He and his teammates upgraded quite a bit over the course of the last season. So it's nice to see them coming back with some awesome gear. And speaking of awesome gear, we got Diego Villarreal here. Now, this is a guy that has done it all. He's had every possible combination of early gear, and he's done so much with it. So you can see, I actually really love his setup. This is a different setup than I think we saw last season. But yeah, driving like I think my grandmother drives, very close to the windshield. But he's making it look good, and definitely a little bit faster than she did. But he's gonna have to bump it up a little bit because he is currently sitting down in P5 as 52.9 second time. So quite a bit to shave off there as we go through. About 5 more minutes of qualifiers left here, Connor, and a good thing is it is a little bit of a, I don't want to say shorter track, but it takes less than a minute to qualify. So we might see some last second times come in as we get down to the wire.
Yeah, we definitely will. It's all about finding the time around this track, and we were saying about like all these times and stuff, and people are like, oh, I could probably go and do this, but like from the times, it's spread apart about a tenth. Like these guys are trying to find like, the tiniest little bits in these corners where, for an average human, it's not easy, but these guys are finding it. And I wanted to put an opinion about the whole rig together with Diego's rig. I love that race seat, by the way. That's one of the coolest race seats I've ever seen. I've got an OMP myself, but I think that tops it all. So, and we're on board with car 998. Oh my God, I've just known where he's from. Australia, my home country. And he's got my first name. Wow, this is, I hope he does well. No bias at all. But yeah, kind of coming across the line. And I'd say it's quite early in the morning too. And he's coming across the line in car number 98. Actually, similar to car 97, if that's any reference for anyone. A fellow New Zealander as well. Only one number off, and yeah, he's doing very well. He's in the Camry, as you said before, Reed, that there's 3 Chevys, 1 Ford, and 3 Camrys, and he's in one of them. No team either. He's just running on his own, so he's a privateer, and he's actually a rookie. So that's a very big shock, and he's doing really well. And he's just looking very calm. Like I'm shocked with how calm they are, but I guess it's not calm. It's more like they're concentrating to the most they can. And the other thing too, this track is really hot. It's like 42 degrees, so it's absolutely cooking out there. So I'm actually I'm looking forward to this race because I could imagine these guys are going to slide around, and a purple sector as well. And Connor just goes up to the top and beats everyone. What an absolute ripper of a time there. And he's absolutely flying with a 52. And yeah, he's going to stay up there, and I wonder if anyone's going to beat that time.
I mean, it's a tough time, but to be realistic, we've got 20-minute qualifiers, which means you've got 15 minutes to kind of get used to the track and really plan your entries, exits, see what you can do. And if you have some bad times, there's plenty of time to get the good one, which usually comes towards the end of qualifiers. Like I mentioned earlier, it is lone qualifying, right? So one at a time, but you got to get your times in there. And so we are going to see one at a time be set. So when you're out here watching Connor Healy, let's see what he can do. He did put up a pretty impressive time, but this is oval racing. So it is going to be smaller margins in between each of our racers. You mentioned earlier just tenths separating these, but it's going to come down to the hundreds and thousands. And when it does come down to that, we are really trying to split some hairs here, Connor. There's, what is that, 600ths of a second between Connor and Fabrizio? So, yeah, really coming down to the wire.
Yeah, it definitely is. And here we go, talking about cars. Oh, the Mustangs just went up to P3, and he's only 200ths off P1, but he's got the time. And car number 69, I feel like that's an absolute meme number at this point, but he's going to park it on the track and maybe reset or go back to the pits. Connor Healy, though, still out on track. And yeah, that's such a good time. He's got 2 minutes to go until the end of qualifying. Yeah, he's doing really well. Consistent line, and he's just done another 52.89. So it looks like they're pretty consistent, but I think he's just dropping off pace a little bit just with those tires digging over time. What do you think of these new gen cars, by the way, Reed? I want to get your opinion, because those the front of them look very different now.
I mean, it's a little bit different in real life, honestly. I think one of the biggest concerns with the next-gen car design was safety, given that the roll cage in testing was a little bit rough, shall I say. I said it earlier. It's like, I think Kyle Busch was quoted as saying it was like a brick getting rammed into a stick of butter. So not what you want to have when it comes to the lives of our racers. However, given sim racing is a little bit easier on the old backbone, I love it because it continues the progress of NASCAR moving forward. If you're old school, then maybe you're not as much of a Gen 7 progressive NASCAR viewer, but there's a little bit out there for everybody. Obviously, there's Next Gen and Cup Series and 100 other races to watch. But when it comes to what was I talking about? Oh yeah. When it comes to the next gen cars, Xfinity. That's what I meant to say. When it comes to the next gen cars, there is a lot of progress. I think there's probably a few kinks to be worked out, but honestly, in the lifetime of any car, you're going to have that happen. So it is to be expected. All in all, I'm really excited, and love that they've been added in here to iRacing to add a lot of variety to the NASCAR category.
Yeah, and it's great for us because we get a brand new car, and AMX can do a little cheeky race, and yeah, it's good to watch these things go around. Like I said, I love these. I love the sound of these things. I think my inner bogan redneck comes out a little bit, and yeah, I absolutely love it. And qualifying's finished, so there's your results. Take it away, Reed.
That's right. If there was one of those spinning clotheslines in the middle of Talladega, then all of our drivers could drive around and play Goon of Fortune with you. But this is Connor Healy on top. 52.839 with Fabrizio Belziti right underneath him by 6,000ths of a second. In the 69 car, Gerardo Ramos down there, 1,300ths off, or 13,000ths off. Pole with Facundo Rago, Pedro Mora, Diego Villarreal, and Randall Turner. Now, yeah, we're on polar opposites with our country representatives there, Connor. We'll see if Randall shows up after his qualifying laps, see what he has to show us out here. You might imagine as we get into heat number one that potentially the American driver might have an advantage. get a chance to check that out as we head into the starting line. It will be we will be standing as we start, but of course we will take some time to get everything up and warmed up, ready to go out on the Talladega. Of course, we're not racing at night. Maybe we'll get that race in a little bit later on. And this is the way the grid stacks up. It's Randall Turner on pole position after a reverse grid kicks in with Diego Villarreal, Pedro Mora, Undurago, Gerardo Ramos, Fabrizio Belziti, and Connor Healy down there in P7 after a P1 in qualifying.
Yeah, good little starting grid here in Heat 1. And I feel like there's, it's quite funny, there's an American and a Aussie in the commentary box, and there's an American and an Aussie on the track. So I feel like there's a good little mixture there. So yeah, it's going to be a good little race. 7 little cars going around, and it's going to be good because we've got a really good pack. And yeah, if they all work together and last lap they all go at it, it's going to be a very enjoyable race. 25 laps ready to go. And Randall here, I'd say the nerves are kind of shaking at the moment, and look at this. He's the fellow VR driver here. We saw Curtis Bird in the last round. Yep, last round running the VR. So I reckon we'll keep that trend going with the VR. I reckon we should have a tally on the side saying how many VR guys are in the league. It'd be quite interesting to know. But Randall on the front row, bottom left. So he's going to have the line into turn 1. And this pace car's just going to lead them around and get their tyres all warmed up, the fuel ready to go, and car's nice and warm.
Yeah, I mean, the track is also nice and warm, as you mentioned a little bit earlier. 42.7 on the pavement, and this is going to really melt those tires down. So you're going to watch out for the inside. We got 25 laps to do it in, and the rubberizing is going to absolutely happen down there. So pace car coming in here any second now. We're going to be getting ready to go with race number 1 in AMX One, lap 1 here in season 4. The AMX Global League back at it again for another season of racing. Let's see what happens as we come around the final corner, get ready to head off into the sunset for 25 laps. And I mean, these laps are going to be really, really fast, and we should be able to keep things pretty tight and close. It's one of the great things about oval racing specifically. As our pace car comes in, you can see the blimp up in the top where we will be looking down on the action here periodically to see when the green flag flies. He's waiting for it. Come on, do your job. We pay you good money for this. They're almost there. No, it's not green flag until he waves it. There it is. All right, you got it. Heat number 1, AMX One, race 1. It's a great way to start things out. Let's see how things happen with a great start. Randall Turner, the VR mastermind, in the lead. These next-gen cars feature improved aero over their Gen 6, predecessors. And you can see that already allowing for a great start to the race. However, great start is not a great finish.
Huge contact. No! Huge contact on the back straight there. Massive. That's going to bunch everyone out now, so everyone needs to get the grips. And that's the leader out too. Yep, and that was the leader, and the Aussie is back in the lead too. So now we're back on the front straight, and the teammate, I think... I'd love to see a replay there because I think that teammate got taken out. I think it was car 22 that got taken out, and one of them's just running in the pit lane, car number 5. So the Aussie's back in front, and there's this 2 little car pack. So let's see if they pull away from this group here. They'll want to try and keep it nice and close. I don't think they're going to have huge battles, and it looks like car number 6 is out of the tow here. So he's going to have to try and make his way back into it if they have a little battle. But yeah, I think they're going to work together. But yeah, huge contact on lap 1. I think everyone was trying to settle in, and it didn't really work out. And Reed, you didn't say boogity, boogity, boogity. I feel like I missed a little thing, something under my soul. I feel like it's been ruined.
I think I would need an even more country accent to pull that one off. I think I'll save that one for next time. We got to get Brad, our other AMX commentator, in here to really start things off on Talladega the right way. but I'm sorry for letting everybody down. I'll do my best last time. So next time. Ooh, a little bit on the inside though. Alternative racing line. Or Fabrizio Belziti, if you want to look at it that way. I think it was Belziti behind there. But we do still have a 3-car pack up in the front. It is Connor Healy, Gerardo Ramos, and Pedro Mora making the overtake happen as he gets a faster line on the inside. Gerardo Ramos dropping back there in the yellow at number 69. And man, Pedro Mora is really speeding up here. He's on the newly Delint Racing Esports by Tony Kanan from Brazil. He is our only Brazilian driver today, and he is really making a strong claim to that top spot. As we check out a BenQ replay of the initial crash, just a little bit of a turn in on the inside. And honestly, our top 3 racers right now did an excellent job avoiding the carnage to the back that took out literally half of the racers on the track.
Yeah, that was huge contact, and that was our leader too from the start. That was Randall, and yeah, he'd be pretty upset that he's been caught up in that. But next race, and he'll be back in it. But for now, we've got Connor at the front leading away. I was talking about that toe there. It looks like the Mustang's just getting pulled out of a little bit, but you can see right here with the slipstream, and we can see that it just comes straight back in. He's going to have a huge slingshot. Does he go under or does he go high? He's going to go high. Have a look. He's ducked back down. Does he go back lower? No. He's still going to stay high. And Connor here just keeping nice and calm, not really moving much, and that's what you want to do. You don't really want to move around too much and give the guy behind you a bit of an idea to move. Here we go. Car 69, the Mustang on the top. And he's going really high. He's going to try and wash off some speed and then drag it back through in the middle of that corner. And it looks like it doesn't work too well, but he's still back in it. And he's doing well here. So they're all spread apart from a blanket at this point. They're all very close. And yeah, another 20 laps to go. So lap 5 we're on now. Coming out of 4 now.
That's right. Yeah, 5 laps down. I mean, we did have the pace lap to start things off, but for the most part, it is all about, I guess, longevity, right? You don't want to cook everything up too quickly, too early on. And honestly, for a lot of racers, you can see them just accepting the tow, chilling out, and knowing that, you know, you have some time to work with. There's no reason to, ruin your race by just getting absolutely, destroyed in the first few laps. And honestly, there is still a reverse grid even after our first heat. So, for some of those racers that were involved in that fracas a little bit earlier on, it is there's still options. And look at this coming in from behind, the slingshot around the outside. It's Gerardo Ramos into second, Mora Ramos side by side, and really, really keeping it close. But man, that inside line, too good. That'll keep Pedro Mora in second.
Yeah, that bottom line looks like the hot dog on the bottom. That's where you want to be. It's nice and yummy, as you half commented, Reed. Yeah, it looks very good down there. And yeah, it looks like with Pedro, he just kind of moves out a little bit and just covers every time. If Guillermo wants to do something, he's just right there, covering him off a little bit, not giving him the absolute toe that he wants. And yeah, Connor here just sitting out front, waiting until these boys do something, and let's see if they do something else. I'm actually wondering if one of them's going to go low and try and go under the yellow and make it quite interesting. I think that might be a last lap kind of thing. But at the moment, like you said, I think they're just sticking in the toe and just waiting until something happens. But I'd like to see someone go down the yellow just for my own entertainment, not for anyone else.
Oh, and that is truly our privilege as commentators, Connor, is to do things for our own entertainment. And there's a little bit of a dichotomy between viewers and racers. Like, racers want the race to be as boring as possible, and viewers want it to be as crazy and exciting as possible. So we kind of split the difference, and we get to hope things happen. So, I mean, it is a little bit more pensive as we wait for the action right now, but I love that Gerardo Ramos is trying to keep things exciting. He is very, very close and never, ever, ever missing an opportunity to try to come around the outside and make this overtake happen. He's going to try it again, but he's still got that farther outside line. Yeah, he's coming up so close.
He actually might have it here because I think he might get a little pace out of here, but he needs to drop a little bit lower. Keep him going really high. He's going to wash off a lot of speed and not be in that slipstream slingshot window. So, but the other thing I'm thinking in the back of my head, car number 4, if car number 69 goes up, what if Pedro just goes for Connor as well, you know, make it a lot harder on Connor, because all he needs to do right now is just sit there and do nothing. But at the moment, these two are just fighting and Connor's just sitting there, and Guimero might actually get this.
He's coming around, he's looking for it, but he just can't find the angle. And, you know, one of the big differences of Gen 7, these next-gen cars, over the previous generation is the improved aero and downforce packages on the car. And you know, that works just overall, but also when you are in the slipstream where you're getting these toes, it is just so effective. It means you don't have to push quite as hard. You can sit there and still get put that new aero to work, at least ideally, right? And so when you do make that big move, the slingshot around the outside to try to make that overtake happen, you really got to mean it, because you are going to feel the detrimental effects of losing that. I mean, obviously, almost immediately. So keeping an eye on Connor Healy, though. He is really calm, cool, collected, staying in front, maintaining that lead. And so far, nobody can catch him. I mean, obviously, we did have that accident at the front, but to maintain this lead, still very impressive to see Connor on that +6 drive.
It's just every Connor from the sounds of it. It's just he's nice and calm and cool, not like I'm yelling at everyone most of the time when I'm racing. But anyway, moving on. But yeah, Connor's doing an absolutely amazing job here, just keeping nice and low, and yeah, just keeping calm. Like, that's all you got to do as a front pack driver. And but it looks like the guy in second, Pedro, he's doing a really nice job, not really moving around too much, just keeping it nice and calm for now. And I think that's what's helping Connor in his head, just to go, okay, I'm covered. He's not going to do anything, you know, try and be a hero or anything. He's just going to sit there and waiting for his opportunity. And I think that's probably the best thing. And if I don't think Talladega fries the tires too much either, so you can sit there and be pretty calm. And as well, I just want to put a comment on this. You guys went to Chicago with the next gens, didn't you?
Yeah, around the street track.
Yeah, I would have loved to have done that race. I think I slept in, unfortunately, but yeah, that would have been a great race.
I mean, to give you the Cliff's Notes of the Chicago race, lots of walls. It's a little bit different, or more difficult to navigate than you might imagine, as Gerardo Ramos finally trying to make this work. We are on board with Pedro Moore as he once again does a dueling battle with Gerardo Ramos. Ramos tried to get it, and he had it for just a few brief moments. But again, Pedro Moore cannot be upset from that second place spot.
Yeah, I think I saw Pedro actually back out a little bit. I think he was thinking, maybe if I just give him second, I wonder if he'll do something to Connor and shake it around a little bit. And I think he's trying to get him back in the toe just to make it interesting. You can see Pedro just backing off a little bit. So I think there's a couple of little mind games in there, because in my head, I'd be like, if I'm second place, I'd be like, let's just get out of here. Let's leave the man alone if he wants to do stuff like that. But yeah, these guys there's some mind games here, and let's see if he'll tuck into in front of Pedro. And I think it might. No, Pedro's gonna keep that gap nice and close. And look at this around the outside of the Mustang in the Toyota. Connor's gonna sit nice and low. This is the first time Connor's even gonna have to worry about anything. Nice and low. Pedro's sitting there. Does Pedro go for a move? No, he's still going to say that. There might be something happening here. Does he get the run? Pedro just having a look on the outside for a glimpse there. 69 on the outside. Connor's still sitting there, nice and calm. We can see him on the webcam there. Nothing happening. There's no squeeze yet, but look at car number 4. He's going to push him along and make his car 69s live. An absolute miserable one there, and you can see he shook his head a little bit, or had a look, and look at the rub of the nose and the head scratch, just thinking, that was almost, but yeah, that was he had a run there. That was definitely impressive there, going around the outside.
Wow, my God. Gerardo is really pushing it, man. There's only so far you can push the pedal down, Connor. You got to know he had it all the way. He was trying so hard to make that happen, but Connor just hangs on to that lead. Honestly, I actually thought Pedro was going to get kind of left in the dust there for a second, but he is able to keep his P2 going, and Gerardo drops even farther back after just absolutely trying to shove it down the outside. Couldn't find couldn't get it to stick. So unfortunately for him, Connor maintains that P1 spot. Pedro Mora just chilling in second. We haven't checked in with the rest of our racers as they are kind of also chilling out there. However, given their differentials, he should start coming around and getting back into the pack from the lap down position. And that might add some spice into the race.
Oh, I love a bit of spice. But yeah, they should be coming around in a second. And by the way, P3's dropped off, so he's almost 2 seconds. So he's completely out of the tow. So 1 and 2 are fighting for it now. And yeah, we should see him in about 10 seconds or so. But yeah, these guys it's a 2-man car now, or two cars left now. I muttered my words there, but I was actually going to mention, obviously we're at Talladega, but could you imagine if there was a Talladega 24-hour? I just thought of that just in the back of my head. That'd be a bit wild, I reckon. Good atmosphere though.
Yeah, so I mean, what makes a good 24-hour race, right? There's lots of 24 hours out there on some of the most iconic tracks in the world. And speaking of 24 hours, the 24 hours of Daytona going on basically now. The Rolex out there. We had the virtual Daytona, GTD, LMPs, all the good action virtual happening, of course, in real life. And I don't know. I mean, if it works on Daytona, it's going to work on Talladega, right? I mean, Daytona has the inside road course component of it, so it's not exactly just a tri-oval, but you can make it work here, right?
Yeah,
I think it's a great suggestion.
I feel like you can half work. Yeah, I feel like it could half work, but yeah, what a great racetrack Daytona is. But anyway, back to the race. But yeah, these guys, it looks like Pedro's still sitting there, and I reckon he's going to be that kind of man that sits there until last lap and makes a move. And I reckon that lap traffic's coming around. And I've just noticed, I think car number 6 is actually catching onto the back of P3. So I wonder if Fabio's going to get a free spot, I wonder. Wink, wink, cough, cough. But yeah, he might get a free spot here. And yeah, it looks like Pedro's just going to sit there and yeah, nothing else really. Unless he's going to go, because he already knows in the back of his head, can't go really high because I'm going to lose that toe. Connor's got the line and it's just way faster. So it's almost like, what do you kind of do in this situation? Do you take your free $5, which I think anyone would take $5 in the back pocket, or do you go for a move for that $7 little price tag on it? What do you do, Reed?
No, I mean, if it's me, I'm just taking the $5, right? I mean, $5. It only costs $1 to race in this tournament. So for the most part, top 10, you're coming out ahead anyway. And honestly, if it was me, yeah, there you go. You're racing. Obviously for fun, but it helps to win a little bit of money there. So you are investing, right? Put $1 on the table, trying to make that stick, and if you're plus at all, yeah, I'm not very fun. When we go to play slots, I'm just like, oh hey, I'm up a nickel. Time to get out of here. So, Connor, actually, I just had the most American thought of my night. All right, so.
Right.
So we got American dollars and Australian dollars, right? Okay. So these are listed in American dollars. But like, what are the non-dollar currencies in Australia? So I mean, there's like a quarter, a dime, and a nickel in America. Is it the same in Australia?
Oh.
Am I stupid?
No, it's completely different. So we've got like 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, 30, 50, yeah. Like it's all, that's how we've got our cents. Then we've got $5, $10, $20, then $50, then $100. So it's all.
But my point is, what do you call them? Like, do they have a name, or is it just a number of cents?
I think it's just, yeah, so you got $1, $2, but that's all we call it, really. There's nothing, there's no nickel dime. I've never thought about that. Yeah, we're boring. That's actually really boring.
I'm just talking about crazy stuff while there's actually action happening on the track. So apologies to everybody that wanted actual racing commentary tonight. We've got more important things to discuss. Just kidding. For the most part,
P4 is actually going to overtake as well.
Yeah. And that's I'm glad that we have more action coming in towards the end of the race. As Gerardo Ramos and Fabrizio Belziti do epic battle in the back, which thankfully we can see thanks to our production teams, picture in picture. Great job, guys, keeping that race action exciting back there. And of course, we've got the P1 and 2, Connor Healy and Pedro Mora duking it out for our final 4 laps. Talladega.
Yeah, they're just, like I said, Pedro's just sitting there nice and calmly, and yeah, we just got that little battle in the back, and they're roughly around the same positioning, only a 10th off the back of the rear bumper. And yeah, just sitting there in the Texaco car, which we've seen a lot of them. And look at this. This is the first move we've seen all night from Pedro. Does he go around? And it looks like Connor's half giving it up. Pedro's got the high line, so he's going to have a little bit of a better run to this first corner. Connor's still keeping low. He's got the run. But look at this. Does Pedro get the slingshot? No, he doesn't. He's lost and sweet on that outside. So Connor's going to be a little bit front. But watch Pedro just slowly drive under the back of the car. And P3 just got the fastest lap too with a 50.1. So I tell you what, if they were all close, it'd be quite interesting to see what kind of lap times they do. Because obviously the bigger pack, faster they're going. So yeah, 2 little packs going on at the moment. And yeah, it looks like Pedro just had a look, see what kind of the run he can do. But I feel like him sitting there the whole time, he kind of doesn't know what's going to happen if he does go on the outside. He's got a little bit of intel from before, but nothing major. So this will be interesting to see where Pedro puts his car. But we know these Texaco cars like to make it nice and fun. So lap 24 to lap 25. It's going to be quite interesting. Connor going high as well. Look at this. Does he get... I think he's trying to get a good run into this back straight because he knows it's a bit of a risk if he's staying low that whole time. And I think he's starting to get a little nervous on that old steering wheel and the old throttle. And like you said before, Reed, he wants to keep that foot nice and pinned to the firewall.
I mean, you really do want to keep the pedal to the metal, but obviously you can't totally make that happen, especially if you're trying to make these overtakes happen. It's been so difficult for Gerardo Ramos that he has barely managed to hang on to that P3. He's down 7 seconds from where he was earlier, 6.5 basically. And for Connor, he's maintained that lead all race long. But honestly, it's all about who crosses finish line in first place. And with only 1 lap left, as Healy and Mora across that finish line, it's coming down to the wire here. So very, very excited to see how this ends. You mentioned the fastest lap being set earlier by Gerardo Ramos. He is really, really doing it. And so he is going to finish in a very dominant P3 because I don't think Fabrizio Belziti can make up 0.3 over the course of the last half a lap. But hey, we'll see. White flag is coming out here any second now. And for Connor Healy, he is still looking in that rearview mirror because Pedro Mora is not giving up yet.
Pedro's going to get that run. If he should have stayed low, he would have got a better run, but he's still getting a good run. Look at this. Kind of staying high, so he's going to try and get this big run. But look at Pedro. He's staying on top. I don't know if he wants to do that. I'd say get on that loader line because we've seen how fast that thing is. But he's staying up high and trying to get a little bit of slipstream there. Kind of still staying high. White flags out. Car number 98. Still in the lead at 4/10 back is Pedro, and it looks like he's almost backing off, and now he's pulling him back in. Look at this. Watch the screen on the left with all the deltas. It's just coming down and down and down, and we're almost to 2/10. So let's see what the slingshot's like at the end of the line. He's got no risk of absolutely sending it up the inside. Obviously, there's no brakes. Shouldn't be saying that. It's more going for a big send. And here we go. Pedro's on the outside. He's going to try and get a bit of a slingshot here. Nothing major. 2/10. We're almost in the 1/10 territory. And look at this. Connor's going to stay low for this last run to the checkered flag. And for all the rednecks, boogity, boogity, boogity.
There it is. Oh, spin off in the background. The last second, the battle for third becomes a race for survival. Connor Healy heads across and he gets the checkered flag coming his way. But coming through backwards, it's Fabrizio Belzini winning in style. Do we have rules that you have to come across the finish line forwards? I hope not. Otherwise, Fabrizio is going to be disappointed. Watching for our VR racer. Turner to head across the finish line, and what a way to do it for Fabrizio. I gotta say, I think that's our first backwards finish of the season, and I like it.
Race one's always a good way to start off the season with a smacking in reverse and going across the finish line. I might try that when I jump in one of these cars and do an AMX race. But yeah, across the finishing line, there he is. So heat one is finished. Ready, take it away, mate. And with Connor leading that race and winning that race, he's going to be very happy with $7.
I mean, you got to be feeling good too there. Representing for Connors everywhere. Great job, Connor Healy in car 98. He is your BenQ session winner for heat number 1. Pedro Morat comes through, our Brazilian racer there for Delint Esports by Tony Canan in second place. Gerardo Ramos in third. Number 69 car comes across, representing, of course, the Iberian Peninsula for us here today. Fabrizio Belzini, Randall Turner, the VR racer from America, improves 2 points over his qualifying position. And Facundo Rago, Diego Villarreal, rounding out our final one results. It's going to do it. Your BenQ session winner once again, Connor Healy. Great to see him coming over and taking a pole position and then bringing it back, finishing P1 for Heat 1 also, which means that we might have our first AMX One Triple Crown winner if Connor Healy can do it again.
Yeah, definitely. He's all he's got to do is do the same thing as did last race, is keep nice and calm and do what he did before. But yeah, same, almost same situation with the cars, a bit similar. But yeah, I'm looking out for Turner. Come on, Turner, you got this, mate. No spins, you got this in the VR. And yeah, let's see this happen again for the second race. And I feel like I need to say boogity because I feel like we've missed something there. Reed, like race one, start of the season, Talladega, and we've missed our opportunity, but we'll try it again. And mate, it's interesting race, this one. I haven't been to Talladega for so long. I'm trying to remember like how big this track was when I was racing on it last. It's 4Ks long. It's actually crazy when you think about how long it is. It's only 2Ks off Bathurst, which is pretty wild when you think about it.
Wow, when you put it in perspective like that, Connor, it really does kind of remind you of exactly how big this track is. And then that's one of the crazy things about Talladega is that a lot of times you'll think of ovals as a little bit maybe smaller than they actually are, and there are some small ovals out there. But for Talladega, no. This is a real race. It just happens to connect the end to the beginning in a circular fashion, vaguely. Either way, our pace car is coming in any second now to start off our second and last heat of our very first AMX race of the night. It's a pretty good heat number 1, and I was thinking to myself during that heat, wait a second, isn't this going a little bit longer than normally? And it is, because we have extended the races to 20-minute Heat 1 and Heat 2. So we're getting a little bit more racing action here as our iRacing pace car comes into the pits. And we are about ready to go racing here as soon as our green flag man gets his waving arm ready. And I gotta say, Connor, there's no such thing as job security in 2024. And that guy was not doing a great job. Fabrizio Belzini, unfortunately, starting from the pits for a reason. And so he is going to have an artificial disadvantageous start to the race for some reason. I'm not sure if his mechanics forgot to put fuel in the car, what's going on with that, but he is starting from P7, which is not bad, but not where you want to start. So let's take a look at the reverse grid situation here, Connor. We got Diego Villarreal in front, Facundo Rago, Pedro Mora Turner, Ramos, Healy, and Belzini down there starting from the pits. So Diego leads the race in lap number 1. Let's see how long he can hold on.
Yeah, Diego just getting pushed down that back straight. I saw that wobble of his Corvette there, just having a wobble down the straight. And look at this on the outside. We saw the last time that it didn't really work, but there's 2 up the top now, and Diego's just going to get absolute monstered around the outside. And look at these 2. They're going to drop back in down low. And here comes the rest of them, because you got to think Diego's got no toe around him, and he's going to get swamped by these other guys. Connor Haley just sitting down below as well. He's going to try and be smart. We did say before with the Triple Crown, and if he does it for the first race, that's pretty impressive. And Connor just sitting there nice and patiently. Car number 69. I feel like I've said that name that number so many times. He's on the outside again. And he's going to pull back in. Let's see if Connor gives him that room to let him go back down below. He does. And look at this. The American, the countryman, comes around Connor. And Connor's just going to sit at the back here and just be nice and calm about the situation. I think he's going to read what's going on and see what he can do here. And let's see if anyone goes high with car number 69. Nice and high. Fastest lap by Gomorrez. And in the Mustang. The old Mustang. Surprised it's not up a tree. I think that joke's been worn out, but I've still got to say it, right?
Wait, am I dumb? What do you mean up a tree?
Oh, haven't you heard of that joke? Oh, I feel like I've wasted that joke now.
Oh my God! Am I? Do I have no sense of humor? It's entirely possible. I mean, I'm not British, but I'm getting as close as I can to it. So, in the meantime, while I was busy missing obvious jokes, Connor Healy has climbed up a spot to 5th. And speaking of spots, we got Pedro Morton doing the same thing he was trying to do last race, and that is battle Gerardo Ramos for that P2 spot. They are absolutely neck and neck, and this is the kind of racing we want to see at Talladega. We get the front view, we get the side view, we get the rear view. And yeah, Connor is desperately trying to make that 3rd place happen. He's climbing, trying to get into 4th, and he can't make it stick.
Yeah, it looks like those top 2 up the top, they just can't really do much. We were saying about that top line not really working. It does work when they go on the straight, though, I've noticed. So I think they just need to keep there on the banking, then just slingshot out of this corner. And look at this. Look at the top 2, just bring it all the way around, right to the front, and they just need to get a little lower, I feel like. I think if they got a little bit lower, they get a little bit more slipstream, a little bit more of a slingshot doing that. And look at this, car number 69 up the top, and he's actually in the lead right now. And I love that black and gold livery, man. It's such a good looking car. I love simple liveries, and they always look good. And yeah, Gamaro just... I feel like I'm butchering that name massively, but he's got loads. So car 22 is going to try and stay on the outside somehow. So he's lost less. Oh, my words. He's left his buddy, and I wouldn't be happy if I was him. I'd be like, okay, I'm getting back up there and try and do something to car 69. And look at this, getting pushed along. So they're definitely being smart. I think a lot of these guys are trying to redeem themselves from last race, obviously with that big crash. I think all of them are just trying to prove themselves, going, I should be up the front. I'm not being at the back anymore, and you can see it. Everyone's been really aggressive, and I love it. So lap 6, and we're moving up to 25 as like last time. So, and Connor at the back just sitting there still. I think what I said before. Oh, and I love that. I don't know if anyone saw that down in the bottom left, but oh mate, just having a little smoke down the back straight. I feel like that's classic America, Talladega right there. And yeah, he car 69 leading the race, coming out of turn 4.
And that is so good to see after watching heat number 1, because you saw Gerardo try that over and over and over again, and it never worked. And now here he is finding himself on a +4 drive into that 1st place spot. And I love that we can see what's happening as he is now potentially in trouble. Turner overtaking Healy in the back there also, but battling P3 and 4, battling 1 and 2 also just absolutely neck and neck. And look at how close this racing is. We're 7 laps through, Connor, and still absolutely anybody's race.
Yeah, 100%. We just saw the teammate just drop in there. Car number 6, he's actually out of the race. We saw him start from this. I feel like this is a bit of a team strategy, because now what they can do is the two teammates could actually push each other along onto that top row, and I reckon it's going to happen. And look at this. Look how close they're on that rear bumper. And look at this. Pedro up the top with car 22. I said about car 22 getting a little bit dirty from what car 69 did. I'd be fuming, let's just say. And I think they're going to do what I was saying they're going to do. Connor's still sitting in the back though, and the countryman, the American, is following on that top line. So there's a good little train here going on. I think there's a good mix. And look at this, 3 wide, 2 wide. It just went from 3 to 1 in 1 second, so that was a bit weird. But we're all on the bottom line now, and they're all going to tuck in, because I think they've all just realized how long this race is, and yeah, they're doing really well here. No incidents yet.
Yeah, no incidents for now. And I'm glad you mentioned the teammates there. Facundo Rago, the first member that I met of Voracious Racing Team. His teammate Fabrizio Belzini is unfortunately back at the back of the pack, so he's doing it for both of us. He is, it's like in the Prestige, you know, you can only have one at a time. But I do like the liveries of choice, so at least getting some thematic elements going here between Facundo Rago and Pedro Mora, who is not using the right one, maybe? I don't know. Either way, Gerardo Ramos leads, but not by much. 600 separating him from the guy that's been using the back of his bumper all race long. Well, maybe not all race long, but you get what I mean. Gerardo rocketed into the lead, and for Facundo Rago, he's maintained at P2 start. So let's see how it goes here as we get ready to cross the halfway mark in just a few laps. We're still in the early parts of this race, I want to say, and so anything can happen. And you know, I didn't necessarily predict the crash in race number 1, but I'm glad that we have a little bit of a different style of racing, Rod. It's a little bit less survival mode and more how consistently can you race around a racetrack, which, I mean, to me, is what I'm here to watch.
I think that's a lot better. Yeah, I like the whole survival thing. I think that is fun, but at the same time, I love the strategy, and I love how these guys are working together, and just little mind games as well. You notice in the pack, some of them push each other, and like I said before, with those teammates, he's basically put a teammate between everyone else and went, well, you've got to get around my teammate first before you get to me. And I love that little tactic. I don't know if it's planned, I don't know what's happened there, but if it hasn't been planned, that is probably the best case scenario, and it's working out very well for them at the moment. And yeah, if old car number 9 wants to go for a move, no, car number 5 wants to go for a move, it's definitely got it. Oh, wiggle down the back straight. That is very sketchy. Oh, look at it. Oh, contact. 69 off the road. You can see he's swearing at the bottom left. Oh, he's free joining the track. Kind of trying to avoid there, and the countryman moving out of the way as well. And I feel like I've got countryman in my brain because of Brad. He said it to me because we were at Bathurst. I feel like that's ingrained in my brain now, so thanks, Brad. But,
oh, yeah, no. I mean, it's great because you can say it without specifying which country he is the man of.
Exactly. Yeah, it's good. But obviously being in the US, the land of the free, I guess it's very fitting. But there you go. Look at the look at the gap now. We just saw that incident, and it looks like Connor's he's gonna have to do something really big here to get back into this battle, because yeah, he's definitely out of this tire, and yeah, that's gonna affect the triple header. But see what all these guys do here. Obviously, that teammate not being in there, it's I wonder if those guys behind them will start working together and get around the two teammates, because obviously they're on a Discord or something like that that will be working together. And look at this, car 6 pushing him the whole way down. Fastest lap too from car number 4 was in P3.
Yeah, the fastest lap's actually been traded back and forth quite a bit. For a while it was Connor Healy's, and now once again going back to Pedro Mora, who actually set a couple of them in heat number 1. So really competitive. all race long, and we've still got some moves left to be made. I mentioned the halfway point. Now we're officially there. I jumped the gun a little bit on that, so apologies. But it is still only 100 separating most of our racers. And I want to say the biggest difference is that we saw Gerardo Ramos have a little bit of a fall from grace there all the way back down to P5. But if you look at the speeds we're hitting here, absolutely incredible to see. Obviously, Fabrizio Belzini, a little bit of an outlier as he started from the pit lane for some reason. Not totally sure about that. But for our VR racer, Randall Turner, he's not doing too bad.
Yeah, he's doing better than the last race. I don't think it was a DNF, but it was close to it. But he's 5 last race, and he's just back to it now and just sitting in the back. And I think it's like one of those situations where you go, do I make a move or do I just sit here and just see what everyone does? Oh! And right as I just said that, Randall had a little look up the inside and he's going to do the same. Look at this, just
so close.
Heaps of weaving. Just heaps of weaving. Meanwhile, us two in the commentary box are just sitting on the edge of our seats going, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash.
I was looking a little dicey there for a second.
Definitely. And,
I'm just waiting. I'm still waiting. It's a little bit intense, right? Because when you have Facundo Rago and Pedro Mora, they're liberties are the same, but they're not on the same team unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure Pedro Mora is on Blitz Esports by Tony Kanan, former Texaco Racing, with Facundo Rago, who's definitely on Voracious Racing team. So for Facundo Rago, he's having kind of the Connor Healy treatment. He has led the entire race, and okay, not the entire race technically, but when he obtained the lead, he then maintained the lead. So there you go. Diego, we talked about him a little bit, and even though he didn't have the greatest start to the race, he is holding strong, solid there in P4, which is still $3 in his pocket. And he's also going to combine that with his qualifying winnings and his Heat 1 winnings too. So it's a little bit more than just what you win from this Heat 2. He's doing really well and has an opportunity as he takes it right now to try to maintain that 4th or take a 3rd. And he made it happen for just the briefest moment. Once again, could not hang on. It is so difficult to overtake on Talladega.
Now watch this slingshot raid. Those three are all going to just slingshot across the teammates, because look at this pack. Obviously, they're still fighting this, so that's going to interrupt it. I thought they would have had that there, but Randall's just been overtaken there. You saw Randall there just absolutely get not moved, but he's just car 22's just put the bumper there. But no, mate, no. This is my spot. You go back.
Yeah. He's got his name on it, and for the foreseeable future, it's Facundo Rago in the front row. Now, for Diego Villarreal, his battle with Randall Turner seems immortal. We are really trading back and forth these 3, 4, 5 spots, and Randall Turner now up into the top 3.
Yeah, Randall doing a risky move around the outside. And look at this, Diego just sitting there on the bottom line going, come on, guys, what are you doing? What are you doing, guys? He noticed, obviously, I think he's taken a lot of notes from last race, obviously, going, if you go on the high line, you're going to lose speed, so now we're just losing draft. So I'd say in the back of his head, he's like, oh, this is hurting us. But look at this top line. They're just dragging across Pedro. So I wonder if it's worth Pedro backing out of the throttle and getting that little slipstream off the back of these two and making a move later on. And Randall's going to drop low. 22's going to drop low behind Pedro, and they're going to try and get back up there. And look at Randall. I think he's going to be the ambitious one and get around them.
Well, I mean, it's so complicated, right? Because you have to watch this pack of cars racing, recognizing that Fabrizio Belzini in car number 6 is lapped. So he's racing in P2, but he's actually in P7. So just keep an eye. And I mean, it's pretty much what we talked about with qualifiers, right? When you go into when you're racing NASCAR on an oval track, bump drafting, getting that toe is so important. And that's pretty much exactly what's happening right here. Well, it's not exactly what's happening, but it is certainly in effect. And it provides, let me see if I can say this delicately, it provides a buffer zone between Facundo Rago in P1 and Randall Turner in P3. And that, how do I say this, aids Facundo Rago in maintaining that lead that he has worked so hard for.
I was going to say, what's kind of the, for the viewers, Reed, what's kind of the rules between lap traffic and stuff? Is it blue flags, or can they sit there for the viewers at home?
Well, as always, we are endeavoring to, refine, to hone not only the racecraft of our racers, but also the execution of these races. So, there's you learn different things from different races, and I think that there are a few things to learn from this one. Connor Healy, he's not bad. He's pole position in qualifying and Heat 1 winner. Second of all, how difficult it can be to make these overtakes happen. So when you're looking at guys like Pedro Mora, who's on a +4 drive, he really is having an incredible performance. As you can see, Randall Turner is climbing back up into that P3 spot. Gerardo Ramos fell back to his P5 spot. It can be difficult, or it can be difficult to maintain positions once you gain them. And so, really, really impressive to see Turner make up the spots that he lost previously, and maybe even potentially make his way a little bit further up the standings.
Yeah, 100%. And look at this. Look at the teammate just bumping him the whole way. What a great buffer that is. That is pretty much the peak you can go on racing if you've got your teammate just pushing you. And look at this. I was talking about the yellow line. You can just see there. Pedro's like, I wonder if I could just park. I'm like, oh, voice crack midway. I wonder if I could just park the car in that yellow line. But obviously, there is ruling behind that situation. You cannot go under yellow and make contact. So if he did go under there, he's got to make it cleanly. But I think car number 6 is going to be defending for his teammate here. Lap 22 as well, so we're getting closer and closer to the finish. And these little pack behind with Randall and Pedro and all the guys behind him, I reckon they'd be half plotting going, I wonder if we just send it around the outside last lap and hope the car sticks.
No, I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier, is, NASCAR is its own animal, right? It's its own thing. You can try to apply, street circuit rules, but it's just not going to work, right? So I'm glad you mentioned the passing rules, because it is super important to, keep it on the up and up, and it does make it extra challenging, right? Because you can see how closely these cars are hugging that yellow line. It makes it very, very difficult if you try to cut in on the inside. Oh, you got a chance to see right there. My God, that's a turn, guys. You gotta get ready. The brakes have to be engaged. Wow, that is you can tell the desperation, Connor, as we come down at the final 2 laps of this first AMX One race in Season 4. Our drivers are starting to see the writing on the wall. It is one final lap left to go, 24 out of 25. Well, I guess it's one full lap left to go. And what's your philosophy on this? When you see 24 out of 25, it's 1 and a bit, right?
In my mind, I always go, oh, we're basically on the last lap now. Let's just go for it. I mean, that's always my thinking. But it's so funny. Like, we've been talking about the psychology of this race the whole time. And on this last lap, I think some of these guys might just go, I might just stick where I am. I think Randall's thinking that. I think Pedro's even thinking that, because he's got a decent result. Obviously he did really well in the last race, getting a P2. So he could be... I could be wrong here, but he could actually be the overall winner. So, yeah, I'd be sitting there where Pedro is sitting right now, and I think Randall would be happy to sit where he is. But the guys that are leading out front, the 2 teammates, I think they'd be very happy to come home with a win. Lap 25, I think that's white flag. I could be wrong, Reed. I don't know if am I wrong?
Well, no, you're not wrong. You just don't have the little white flag icon up there. So,
Uh,
25 out of 25. I can do math and fractions, Connor. This is the final full lap of the race tonight for AMX One. We got AMX 10 coming up after this, but we got to close things down for the final lap of this race. You can see Facundo Rago and Fabrizio Belzini right next to each other. Although they are on opposite ends of the standings, they are right next to each other. Best friends in real life. Behind them come a very, very close pack with Diego Villarreal and Randall Turner down to the wire, coming across with 9 thousandths of a second separating them. Right behind that is an even closer battle between Connor Healy and Gerardo Ramos, who will bring it home in that order in P5 and 6 with Fabrizio Belzini. You saw him cross the finish line a little bit earlier, taking home that last spot in P7. Oh my God. I mean, we raced through quite a few laps. We're like, this is the middle of the race. This is the middle. But then the ending was so exciting, Connor.
Yeah, we're just sitting there the whole time, and last lap comes around, and there's our winner there for second race of Race 1, Season 4. And yeah, awesome way to finish out the race. And look at that big oval wheel, Reed. That thing's huge. I feel like that thing needs its own postcode. But yeah, easy win for the two teammates, and they've done very well there, and putting number 1 there. Well done to them.
I love it. Congratulations. Excellent racing from Argentinian Facundo Rago, who will come home as the BenQ session winner for heat number 1. And I love these representing not only his country, but also Voracious Racing Team. Great to see him coming out here after really battling through quite voraciously in season 3, and now back here in season 4 already, putting some points up on the board. A P1 rakes in $7 from that. And if I'm not mistaken, Diego Villarreal actually did get the fastest lap of Heat 2, putting up a 49.477, which would have been good enough for that position in qualifying too, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, congratulations to all of our NASCAR Next Gen racers. They make Talladega look pretty good tonight. And it's our first race of the season, so we've got so much more coming up. 68 races coming your way, 67 now. And we've got race number 2 coming up here in just a little bit, Connor. Do you remember exactly what that is? Because it's one of the most iconic pairings in all of iRacing.
I feel like if you're I feel like if you're European, this is the homeland of race car, racetrack. I feel like this is almost the pinnacle. Like, you've got GT3s, but Porsche Cups at Spa, which I think is probably one of the best combos I've heard for a very long time. And yeah, let's get down and go to Spa from America. Long
That's
trip.
right. We are going to take a trip across the ocean. While we're doing that, you guys have some homework. You can see the links right down below your screen. Make sure to hit us up on social media on Instagram and Twitter at AMX Global. If you'd like to join the conversation, we'd love to have you in the AMX Global community. You see the link to our Discord right down below the stream. Also, join up. You're going to be a member of an over 500 member community, all of whom have raced or race in AMX at one point in time. Get your questions answered, post some memes, cat pictures. We got it all in the AMX Global Discord. And of course, remember to follow, like, and subscribe on YouTube or on Twitch. We'd love to have you there and appreciate your support every single race. If you do want to join us to race, then in the meantime, you guys can head over to amxrace.com to sign up to race with the people you just saw on your screen and the people you're going to see racing in AMX 10. Coming up here in just a little bit, we got Porsche Cups on Spa coming up in just a little bit after the break, so you don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
to save our home. We must travel through the gateway to find new energy.
And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 4 of the AMX Global League. We've already finished our first AMX One race of the season, and we're moving on to the pinnacle of racing for tonight, AMX 10 RWD. It's rear-wheel drive, and we're racing the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car tonight. And of course, we're doing that on Spa-Francorchamps, an iconic car track combo. And I said this earlier, an iconic caster combo. Also, Connor, what's going on?
Not much, dude. Just had some food and ready to go again.
Yeah, we're going to do it 2 times every single night. We come out here, AMX 1 in the beginning of the day and AMX 10 to round things off. Some really cool car track combos this season. We've kind of streamlined everything a little bit. So we've got 6 different championships, and over the course of this season, we'll be talking a little bit about each one of them. So there's front wheel drive and rear wheel drive, and we're hitting that one here today with these Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars on Spa-Francorchamps. So it's a great car, a great track. You should be familiar with them. But if you're not familiar with how AMX Global League Season 4 works, here's a look at some of the housekeeping. We're starting on January 27th. Wait a second. That's today. Some places in the world. We're going all the way to April 21st. 20K on the line. A lot of races this year, a lot of variety. So get out there. Tell your friends. Come join us in AMX Global League Season 4. 20-minute qualifier, 20-minute heat number 1, 20-minute heat number 2. With the top 15 reverse grid in between, just to shake things up and keep it a little bit fresh and fun. And we've had a lot of fun with it last season. We're bringing it back this time around. Driver cams are required. If you want to race in AMX Global League, sign up at amxrace.com. Turn your camera on, and every time you win over $100, which is not actually that hard to do, there's $600 or $500 on the line every race in AMX 10. We pay you out once a month, and of course, we're racing on Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sunday. AMXrace.com is the place to join us. So, yeah, get out there, join us, and then you too can come and race at 5:50 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So figure out what GMT your time zone is from this. And AMX 10, the race you're about to watch on your screen right now, of course, starts at 7:20 GMT every Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday, depending on where you are in the world. And that's going to lead us into one of the reasons we're all out here racing, the AMX 10 race prize pool, $500 on the line, with a $30 prize for first place, second place, third place, going all the way down to 15th. So, yeah, if you do place in 7th or higher for even just one of these qualies, Heat or Heat 2, then you're going to win your money back. It's $10 to enter. So you would have to place, I think, 13th or lower in each one of these in order to not make your money back, which is not that bad. So the odds are in your favor. Get out there, join us. Of course, there is a minimum road rating of 2,000 iRating to come and join us in AMX 10. So keep that in mind over the course of the season, and we will see you out here in one of our 3 AMX 10 championships. Of course, front, rear, and I think there's one more that's slipping my mind right now. But either way, tonight we are going racing on some iconic cars and tracks, and we'll have Connor introduce those after we mention our current promotions with the giant warning signs beside it. I like it. Warning, guys. We have some promotions. D-3 is the early bird promotion. If you sign up for a race 3 days or more before, you will get 30% off. And that's for every single race this season. So amxrace.com, go sign up. We also will be offering season discount tickets for each one of our 6 classes of race this season. More information about that will be available soon as we activate both of these in the coming races. So keep an eye on amxrace.com, or of course on our socials on Twitter, X, and Instagram to find out more information on those. And now it's time for Connor to take it away with talking about what and where we are racing today in AMX 10.
Here we are, Spa-Francorchamps. What an iconic racetrack. This is up with Monza, all the F1 tracks on the calendar. This is pretty much the pinnacle of F1 when it comes to it. So we're in Belgium, opened up in 1921, very old racetrack, and very iconic. 7 kilometers, very big racetrack, a lot of endurance races around here, and that's why they use this racetrack, because it's so big. So great racetrack, and happy to be here with a Porsche Cup car, and that car is right here. Porsche Cup car, what an iconic little race car. These pretty much cars, you start from the bottom, then you go all the way up to all your Formula cars and on all your hard top cars like your GT3s. They have 500 horsepower, the same as a GT3 car, rear wheel drive, 1,260 kilos, sequential gearbox, so just paddles, nice and easy, and engines in the rear as well, so the car slides around a lot, but it's still got quite a bit of understeer, so it's good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see this car raced a lot in championships all over the world, so we're bringing it here as just a great car. If you're looking for a car to buy in real life, for me, one of these or anything. But also, if you want to check it out on iRacing or any of the other services out there, then great place to get started. And we're going to be jumping into qualifying straight away, Connor. Going to get a chance to head out there and, oh, man, just listen to the sound of the engine. So good. I don't even know why we need to talk. We just listen to this for every single lap. And this is back to group qualifying for our road courses. You can see our racers still trying to get the hang of what is actually a quite challenging track, Connor.
Yeah, very interesting track and very technical track, and we're going to ride aboard with the SDK car, the little Apex car. If I've got that wrong, let me know, but on board with him, car number 33, he's going to pull over, so it feels like every car we jump on, they're going to pull over and start all over again. But here we go, onto a Hymo car. Great little car here, and he's car number 88, so he's going to drive around, and I was going to say about we heard Reed say about heat up the tyres as well. It takes a good 2 to 3 laps to get these tyres into their optimal window, and that's why they swerve around a lot, because if I'm not mistaken, these the tyres are a bit thicker. They're not as soft as a lot of tyres on the simulators, so they've got to heat them up quite a bit. And here we go, 333. I'm going to pull up the name so I can read everyone's name. Tim from the US. He's riding on board, and another VR driver. So that's 2 for tonight. So I'll keep that in mind. So I should do a tally, like I said in the last race. So he's going to come across the line and start his hot lap. And he's going to come down to turn 1, first gear, try and get no oversteer on exit, correction on the wheel, and done really well there. I just noticed on the back end of this car, it's got a lot of camber. And if I'm not mistaken, Reed, these are all fixed setups, aren't they, in this server?
So the way that setups work, as I've been recently educated, is that if most of the time we're trying to use fixed setups, but if there is a track-specific setup, then we use that one. That's obviously just tailored to the track, and obviously spa.stow is what's on board for tonight. Hopping on board with Aaron Vasquez. Now this guy is a killer. We had several racers last season pull up and absolutely dominate. This guy's sitting at 11.2 thousand iRating. I can't even count that high. Even if I take my socks off, Connor, that is way up there. And he showed up out of nowhere at the end of season 2 or at the end of season 3 at AMX, and absolutely dominated. Now, he didn't have a lot of racing to do, but he has changed teams quite a few times, and he's currently representing Drago Racing out there tonight. So Aaron Vasquez, absolutely a name that you will need to be paying attention to this season, because he is capable of doing some great things, as you are witnessing a 219 on Spa, being able to bust out your setup, head out, and put those numbers up. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, we saw Aaron last time around here in a GT3 spot, and he absolutely dominated in the Audi that just came out at the time. And yeah, I think he's going to be doing similar things tonight. But there's I've seen a couple of pro licenses, so we might have some very good competition with this little man here. He's doing really well, and yeah, those lap times are very, very good. Here we go, Monster Energy livery. Oh, this is a spicy livery. I love this one. Woo. And Jackson, a Texaco driver, could be wrong with that, but we're going to be on board with him. I think I could be wrong, but that's what it does say on the graph there. So he's currently sitting at P2. He was just at P1, but Aaron Vasquez is taken pole position at the moment by a 10th, and he's going to pop in the pits. It looks like he's just doing an outlap to get these tyres in the optimal window. Look at all this iRating, Reed. This is astonishing.
God,
car going past as well.
It is exceptional, to say the least. Yeah, like you mentioned, pro licenses from Gael Valero and Eduardo Leo, bringing out some of our absolute top-class racers. Philippa joining us for, I think, the second time, potentially the first time. And then Hubson, first-timer for us tonight. So a lot of racers coming out for our first race of the season. Of course, I mentioned earlier, Gael Valero, Frenchman for Apex Racing Team. Of course, absolutely one of the best teams on the planet. And he is part of why that is true. So very, very exciting to see him come out to race tonight and every night. He is out here a lot trying to put up some great numbers, and he's great at doing it. Of course, pro license holder, championship winner. He is an iconic mainstay of the AMX Global Leagues. And, of course, not to take anything away from a whole host of the names that you've seen all season 3. They're coming back in Season 4. We got Gaston Calavi, we've got Jackson Nzenje, who's up there, and William Chadwick, who is sitting on pole position provisionally. 8.6K iRating, but a monster. Now, of course, rocking the Hymo livery tonight, so potentially a team change. I haven't been keeping up with the silly season in between AMX Season 3 and Season 4, but of course, previously he has represented many different teams. He is currently working, I think, technically in the back end of Hymo, running their behind-the-scenes operations. But every once in a while, we like to put him in the limelight. And, of course, a racer that has raced quite successfully in AMX before. And here he is doing it all over again on provisional pole.
Yeah, very successful from the looks of it. And, yeah, the Hymo, they've kind of come out of nowhere, really. But, yeah, they've been playing this in the background. And, yeah, he's doing really well at P1 at the moment. And here we go, BWT livery. I love these liveries. I love the pink. I've always loved the Mercedes and the Porsches. So we're going to ride on board with Simon, Dumont, and I feel like I've butchered that name again, but we'll move on. Oi! And then he's turned around on no name. Oh, he's got back into the wall there. So he might do a quick reset and move on. Here we go, another one. Peter's on the straight with the BenQ logo, and we got to love BenQ as well, one of the naming rights of the whole league. So good to see a BenQ car out there. I'm sure Reed's loving that. And there goes a car across the road over to the right-hand side.
Yeah, the real story tonight is Peter Zuba. Okay, this guy is what I like to affectionately call a try-hard. Now, look, we're all trying to have fun here tonight, but some of us are trying to take the other kids' lunch money. Peter Zuba is out there. I was answering his questions in our Discord channel yesterday, day before. He's asking questions about setups. He's like, okay, do we use a separate setup at qualifying? No, it's the same setup. This guy's out here putting in practice lap after practice lap. And it shows he is doing quite well, but still some room for improvement. Now, look into the cold, dead eyes, if you will, my friend, because in front of you, a racer in 5th currently, it is Dino Filippa. A man so deadly we couldn't show him on stream for very long. We'll be checking in as we move up to the Canadian, Gregory Hobson. I hope I'm saying that correctly. They are a little bit closer to home than normal. And first time we're getting a chance to see him out here in AMX Season 4. Welcome Something like that. I don't know. But anyway, great to have him along on board with us for P4 provisionally in qualifiers. That's it's not bad.
Yeah, he's doing well, and yeah, it looks like the Canadian's doing very well. Currently earning $16, so he's getting all his money back in P4, and yeah, that's a very solid lap time to be very close to those guys. And yeah, I love that Canadian flag on the side of his car. Back to the Apex car. Let's see what Galvo will do here. Coming across the line, straight line, and he's moving to P6. Frenchman is flying, so he's like we was mentioning about the Canadian, he's not far off the Canadian. I feel like there's a bit of a not a mix. I'm trying to find a word, Reed. Try and help me out here. Hang on.
Variety.
I'll find it in a sec. Yes, a connection with the Canadians and the French. So good to see those two close. And there's a purple sector for car number 44, which is Aaron coming across the line. And will he take P1 off Chadwick? Let's see, across the line.
Whoa,
he does.
Look at that. Yeah, by over a tenth. That is, wait, is that over a tenth? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, I'm trying to math real fast. So yeah, very, very strong performance there. And keep in mind, we are coming down to the wire, right? 20-minute qualifiers, which means that for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're really going to be trying to warm things up, practice, get your lap times up there. But then the final 5 minutes, man, it is just pedal to the metal, because this is an absolutely monster of a track. It is more kilometers than I know how to count. That's a lot. And so for guys like Fabio Zamperlini, has limited time and options to put in the laps for qualifying. He is in the top 10, which is absolutely where you want to find yourself. But it is a top 15 reverse grid. So yeah, either way, he is going to have a good chance to show us what he's got out here. And obviously, we were talking about AMX Season 3 mainstays that are coming back at it again for another season, another shot here in Season 4. And Fabio Zamperlini, of course, one of the older drivers, but also one of the best drivers in AMX Global League. So happy to see the Duck Hawk racing car back out here again on Spa to show us what he can do as he is coming towards the finish line. Let's see what kind of times he's putting up here. 2.20, absolutely respectable. Better than I could do. So that's where I draw the line. But obviously, he is up against some absolutely stiff competition tonight, Connor.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about competition, Altus, what a fierce team. They, I would say they've got a very, very good name in Porsche Cup. Obviously, they're very successful in the Tag Heuer Porsche Cup. And let's see what kind of lap time he is on a lap time at the moment. And look at all that track using out there, using more track into this last little onto the exit here. And he's going to get a good run onto the big straight here. And there's probably like 2Ks across the straight. It's an absolute massive track here. 7Ks is just absolute stupid, and we love it. We love a big racetrack. So here, big lift.
I love that you
barely lift.
I love that you mentioned the team liveries. We see them come closer and closer. This is actually looking like a very, very big run from him. Leo representing Altus, of course, coming out, crossing the line, and he will go faster. P4. There it is, up into P4. That is not bad. I was going to mention Altus for a couple of reasons. One, not only are they absolutely dominating in basically every series that they enter, but also Aaron Vasquez, now provisional pole, used to be on that team. He was on that team a couple of years ago and only recently moved to Team Drago last season. So he is new to that team in provisional pole. He's got his former teammate, Eduardo Leo, down there in P4, kind of breathing up his tailpipe. And now we're on board with one of our final qualifiers, Nico Godoy Aslo, a mainstay of AMX Global League Season 3. He is back at it again, coming out to show us what he can do. He's a man of the dark. And he's having trouble putting it on the track. And there it is. He is unfortunately not going to be able to complete a lap, and will finish outside the points. But yes, the literal dark horse is back. And that is going to do it as we get a beautiful view of the Belgian countryside. We were talking about it earlier, Connor. This track could have been named everything. It is right between Stavolo, Spa, Francorchamps, and a handful of Belgian countryside towns. So I'm kind of glad that we settled on Spa. The reason it is called a Spa, if you go to a hothouse, this is why. Congratulations to Aaron Vasquez, of course, representing Drago Racing. This guy was a killer in Season 3, and he's back at it again. Take these kids lunch money with a P1 by a tenth and a half, which is absolutely respectable over William Chadwick and Dino Filippa, who finds himself in P3. The Italian racer, if I'm not mistaken, no, Argentinian. There we go. Sorry, apologies. Finds himself there alongside Jackson Asenge, P4, and Eduardo Leo, representing Altus Esports in P5. Gregory Hobson, the lone Canadian representative here, also in P6. Scrolling down, Peter Zuba, guy I mentioned right below, the Apex racer, Gael Valero, who we also expect to see some great things from. Fabio Zamperlini was P10, just barely got edged out by Gaston Calavi, both mainstays of AMX Global League Season 3. Back at it again. Show us what they got here in Season 4. And really just a who's who down there at the bottom. Nico Godoy in 15th, who will get reverse gridded up into P1 as we get ready to start things off with heat number 1.
Yeah, and here we go. This is heat 1 of AMX 10, and what a great combo to start out the season. And yeah, we're gonna go racing for 8 laps, so not too many laps, but it's more than enough to have a heaps of action. And for me and myself, and and
I was gonna say I'm over here, Connor.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say my commentator in Australia, but no, yeah, Reed onside, gonna absolutely yell at the screen and enjoy this whole race. Here we go, biggest teams in the world. There we go.
Here we go. We are starting from a cold dead start to as fast as we can go, as fast as we can go. Nico Godoy starts on pole. He's struggling to maintain that as we come around for turn number 1. It's Nico Godoy all the way back, spinning out and off the racetrack. He is out of here, along with Aaron Vasquez, who got reverse gridded back there, just struggling to stay out of the way as Carnage starting already. Falling back from the start is Gaston Calavi, who can't maintain his spot, and now tilting out again. It's Gael Valero. No, he finds himself now back in the back of the pack again. Oh no, already some carnage down there at the back. Now it's Simone Demori. Simon way out of there as well. One by one, these racers dropping out with some big winners amongst the pack here, Connor. We've got Jackson Asenge on a +7 way up there, and Fabio Zamperlini zooming into P1.
Yeah, Chadwick as well, moving up in the 88. And look at this, up the inside. He's going to hold it. He's got that better line, so he's going to have more grip on the inside. There's a little contact, bit of roll. Here we go. There's going to be Leo on the outside with the Altus. He's going to go under, get the drive out of the corner, and there you go. Using off tracks as well as Jackson using all the road in that Monster Energy. What a great looking car that one is. Altus up the inside. He's going to get absolute pushed out the window there with the Hymo coming through as well. On top of that, bump on the outside as well to go, and buddy, I'm still here, and around the outside. What a great move that is. And here comes another one. This guy is getting absolute swamp in the car number 8, and yeah, there's another one, and that's going to be happening the whole way for this first lap. Out front though, Jackson's just taking another spot, and mate, they just keep going and going.
Yeah, they really do. Wow, Connor, what a crazy start, but also, like I said, some big winners there. And this is a great thing about reverse grid, is that it's really hard to stop good racers from being good racers, right? They are going to make that as fast as possible, and that's Jackson Asenge. We're on board with him right now as his monster livery comes into P2, a +10 already. How'd that happen? Oh my God. Gaston Calavi and Lozano also continue to be followed down there back in the back. And as we see things sort of start to shuffle, these are some of the hardest corners on track, coming back around for our second lap out of 8. Really, really impressive drives here, but it has been a struggle. So we still have some drivers who need to make up some time. Fabio Zamperlini not only +4 into P1, but also the fastest lap set through 1 lap on Spa.
Yeah, fastest lap, and look at all these cars up the big hill. I'm not going to name them because I'll get some comments going, you're not right about that one, so I'm going to leave that one alone. And look at the run on the big straight here, Hemel Straight, and look at this, up the inside. There's probably going to be 2 cars that are going to dive up the inside. We've got Aaron Vasquez there as well, so he's probably going to do a cheeky move. He's going to stay on the inside, though, because he knows that better line there. Ben Q car on the outside. Aaron's going to have a look. Oh, thinks about it, gets bumped out of the road, and huge contact.
No!
Huge contact.
He's trying to save it. He's trying to save it so hard, but ultimately he just slams on the brakes, and that is Pizuba all the way out. Man, just contact. That's why you can't just race by yourself. It's a hardcore life out there, and getting taken out down there to P14. Tragedy striking the Zuba race.
Yeah, Peter absolutely getting hit out there. It looked like netcode, like a weird iRacing contact, but huge crash in the background there. Huge front end damage, and he's on the wall. 333, which that is Tim. We did see him in qualifying, and he actually put a really good result in. Lost 11 positions from where he starts, so he's going to have to try and build his way back up. Meanwhile, on the high mode car, William Chadwick moving his way up to Leo. It feels like there's Altus and Jaime very close, and here's contact bottom right. Bang! And there's Peter getting hit, then turn, and the BWT car just having nowhere to go, and Aaron's just using all the dirt because, you know, why not use a little bit of dirt with a Porsche Cup car?
I mean, it is. It's nice to see these guys show off, and some of them absolutely are. Fabio Zamperlini, one of the best drives I've seen ever. So that is very, very impressive. As we're watching William Chadwick right here, this is a guy that we see highlighted in races like Real Racers Never Quit, representing AMX because of how good he was last season. He's doing it again this season as we get a chance to watch the Peter Zuba crash in your picture-in-picture. Just kind of getting spun out a little bit from behind there. Honestly, very impressed that it didn't cause more of a pileup. Great defensive driving from the cars around him. Absolutely essential for racing in some of these larger, higher attendance races. And looking, listening, and amazing Chadwick as he climbs up past Hobson into P3 on the podium. And he's making it look good, easy, and whoa, we might have another action here, although my screen is completely frozen, so I have no idea what happened there.
Yeah, Chadwick still in P3, and he's trying to hunt down in P2 and P1, which is Jackson Rosendo, and I feel like he's always up the front, he's always there, so Jackson's getting absolutely, he's being hunted right now, let's just say that. So Chadwick absolutely chasing him down in that beautiful, beautiful Hymo car, and on the bottom right, there's a little battle for 5th, which is in the not the Hymo, Alta's car with Leo in the background right here, up the inside, big dive on the brakes, and it looks like there's a bit of a, I'll go wide and use all the exit, and he gets a great exit. Meanwhile, Leo's still up the inside with that beautiful Alta's car, still on the outside, and car number 16 covers it off. Leo's still having a go, and he might get it finished with this move. A little bit of a bump on exit just to try and offset him a little bit, and Leo is through. Car 16, Dino holding up Aaron Vasquez. I feel like with my Aussie accent I butcher every name, but Aaron's right on the back here, being nice and smooth and nice and fast as well, starting from the back, 8 positions up. Let's see if he makes a move up into the last corner, and I reckon he might do it because he's got a really good slingshot there. Let's see if he does a big dive bomb on car 16. No, doesn't do it. Looks like Dino's got very good
Dino's
capabilities.
Yeah, no, I was actually just going to highlight that. This guy brakes like he's in the actual car, and I love his camera setup because every time he faces some challenge on track, you can see that camera react. It's almost like it's got force feedback. He's got a butt kicker under the camera. You know, it really gives you the onboard feeling. So Dino Philippa making it look good there. Aaron Vasquez, man, this guy has faced everything we can throw at him and somehow he's kicked up the NOS. He's plugging it in. This guy was down in, I think, second to last place, and now he's on +8 again. Okay, can anything stop this guy? Seriously. So good. And now we're going to watch the side-by-side cam. Shout out to our production crew for making this happen. Aaron Vasquez and Dino, separated, of course, by Eduardo Leo. Man, it doesn't get much closer than this. This is some of the best racing on track right now, fighting for that 5th place spot. It's Vasquez, Leo, Philippa, some of the best racers we've got in this whole season, from last season and in all the other races they've raced in. Putting on a show for us here tonight.
Yeah, and the bottom right as well, we've got the battle for first with the two Brazilians going at it. You gotta love a good country. I've mixed that all up, but anyway, battle for first down in the bottom right, and yeah, we still got the Altus car and Aaron just absolutely going at it. I feel like this Altus car has been so much, and it's great just to see guys get amongst it and really battle. Lap 4, by the way, so we're not far off actually lap 8, so we're halfway, so right on the money, and yeah, they're just about to come back on the big straight. But yeah, Dino, I mean, what a performance so far. He's up 8 spots, and yeah, showing that he is supposed to be here. I was just watching Leo's car. The back end of his car was just starting to turn around to be the front. Aaron with the run. He's going to try and go around the outside as King. This is very dangerous, but it's very good for commentary. And here we go.
Oh,
and the make for it.
Man. Oh, it's so close. Oh my God, look at how tight that line is. Fabio Zamperlini. It's the Cronenberg combination of Fabrizio Zambelziti kneeling. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, Fabio is having the race of his life right here, but he is doing everything he can to fight off his countrymen here. There's that countryman coming back again. Jackson Asensei, this guy's a killer. He's a monster, and look at this onboard. We're going to come up through Eau Rouge, and oh, it just looks so beautiful. Absolutely iconic. We're getting some of the best racing we've had all season, all year. But look at this. It's Jackson Asensei coming alongside, trying to make the overtake happen. Will it stick? It looks like he comes around the corner and into the lead.
Yeah, Jackson making a great move there up the inside, giving no matters to Fabio there, giving him no room on that outside, and Jackson's got it done. So now he's going to try and get away from this whole pack. So William and Dino has no chance of catching up because he's probably seen it on his relative going, yeah, we might be in trouble here. So I reckon the boys will be trying to push as hard as possible. And William in the high mode would be absolute flying. He's got no high mode setup, but he's got a fixed setup, and he is flying. See the little reference I did there? I think I did really well with that.
I see what you did there. Excellent job.
Yeah. But anyway, Chadwick trying to go for a move. Does he go for the dive bomb here? Yep. Car length back. Oh, Rubbins racing, and there you go. Good move up the inside in the high mode car, moving past. And look at this, car 15 having a move as well, obviously with the duck car having not as much pace, obviously because he's been knocked around a little bit. He's had to actually get bumped out of the corner by the Canadian. The absolute, everyone loves him. No one hates a Canadian. Canadians. They are probably the best people on this earth. So doing well here. Battle for 6 as well on the bottom right with Aaron.
Yeah, and this is where the battle's been for a lot of the race. That 4, 5, 6, keeping it close. So Aaron Vasquez and Edward Lee. Whoa, so close around the corner. And Shane just keeps delivering over and over again. We're coming towards the end, though. On lap 6 out of 8 and soon to be 7. Our time here on Spa will end momentarily. Well, not momentarily. It's a long track. I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, guys. But if you're gonna make a move, you gotta make it soon. And for some of our racers, there is absolutely an opportunity. We got Simon Demori, who had a rough start to the race, needs to climb back up to where he qualified. Hobson is one of the guys that absolutely can't take this podium spot and make it happen as we hop on board with him, trying to take the previous race leader, Fabio Zamperlini. He's got his work cut out for him.
He does indeed. He had an unfortunate thing. Leo up the inside with Aaron. Tell you what, Aaron hasn't had an easy race on the outside. Now he was in the inside, now outside, back on the outside, and Leo's got the move done in that beautiful Altus car. And let's see if Aaron actually does another move up the inside. Meanwhile, big screen, the Canadian up the inside and slides through with that beautiful maple syrup.
Is that a lubricant? Is that the Canadian? Ugh,
I
man,
tried it.
P3.
I tried to do it.
Wait, you've tried it before?
No.
Okay. Just checking. Hey, Connor, no shame. I mean, I'm, if you're recommending it, then what can you say? Jackson Assetto in P1. That's my segue for the night. All right, and look at him go. This guy's leaning back in real life. He's chilling. This is an F1 lineup. I don't know, but he's doing it, making it look good. Plus 11, right next to the plus 12, William Chadwick. Man, these guys are motoring and fighting each other until the very, very end. Lap 6 out of 8. And we've also got the battle for 6th in the picture-in-picture. So much action going on here, guys. It's almost too much to focus on, and I only say almost because our incredible production crew behind the scenes showing us what's happening here, there, and everywhere. Some great angles here, and I love to see it. The on top, the overhead angle on Jackson Assetto and William Chadwick battling down to the wire.
Yeah, the battles have been absolutely amazing, and here we go. Let's see if Chadwick actually does another move here, because we've seen his very aggressive driving style, but he kind of backs off for 5 minutes, and everyone thinks, oh, he's chilled out now. No. It just dives up the inside again, and yeah, we saw that move with Fabio. That was an amazing move. Talking about Fabio, Dino's just got around him, so Dino is coming up as well. So the Canadian and Dino are flying on, motoring, as Reed would say, and I reckon Chadwick needs to make it nice and snappy to get around Jackson, but I know from personal experience Jackson doesn't make it easy. Simon go for the move, or Chadwick up the inside, and he's probably going to get this move done. Jackson on the outside gives him a little bit of room, nothing much so. Chadwick's still there. He's going to get the run. Oh, Jackson's still there. Does the Hymo car drag him out? He doesn't. Gives him heaps of room. 888 still keeping there. And look at that. Hymo up the inside in that beautiful purple car. And there goes Hymo. So Jackson's got the Canadian behind him now. Yeah.
His name is Robert Paulson. No, it's William Chadwick. And he's doing great at defending off one of the most aggressive racers we have in AMX Season 4. Season 3, Season 2, all of them. He's just an absolute killer. And so, William Chadwick, this is where your racing pedigree starts to kick in. You not only have to know the car, the track, the combination, and have practiced it a lot before, but you also have to have that experience racing against racers that are going to challenge and push you every step of the way. Chadwick, like a boss, illustrating all of that racecraft up in the top position where he deserves to be. Eduardo Leo, though, absolutely doing exactly the same thing against an equally fierce competitor, Aaron Vasquez and Fabio Zamperlini on his tail. Look at this guy. I would crush him physically in a fist fight, but if it's on track, he is a monster. Eduardo Leo. P5. Top 5, not good enough for this guy. He is used to win. But he's got a second to make up in 1 lap on Spa, and that's a tall order. We do have another heat after this, so you got to keep an eye on the timing tower. The reverse grid might be a little bit harsh, but not as bad as it'll be for everybody ahead of him. And as the white flag flies, we are on the final lap of racing tonight for heat number 1. And I gotta say, it's looking close up there. Eduardo Leo's gotta have his eyes glued to that rear view mirror because Aaron Vasquez is on the way.
Yeah, Aaron's right on the back of him. He's given him no breathing room, and I reckon Aaron's going to try and get around him because he's got the duck right behind him, and I reckon he'd want to get past, and he's got Apex behind him, so he's got a few people, so he's going to get around the Altus on the outside, so he'll have the inside for the next corner. It's a bit confusing. On the brakes, Altus still not giving up. Leo up the inside. gives him a little bit of room, nothing much. So Leo's going to tuck back in so he doesn't lose another 2 positions. And Leo's going to tuck in. Aaron's going to just try and lead away, covering. Leo is. And he's got it done.
Battle all the way at the end. That is that's commitment, and I like that it's come down so close halfway through our final lap.
And we're fighting for P5, not even P1. The racing is absolutely sensational. Meanwhile, in the Apex car right behind, the Frenchman around the outside, heaps of grip from the looks of it, and he's got it done. And using SDK on the outside, so he knows where he is. Oh, contact! Little bit, nothing much though. And he's got it done.
Yeah.
Good move.
No, really, really big move. And this Kyle Valero, by the way, this guy's a multiple race winner, one of the top performing drivers from season 3, coming back and doing it all over again. He's got to make his moves now because we are coming down to the final few kilometers of our time here on Spa-Francorchamps, around the final few curves, and it's Chadwick Kasenje Hobson, your top 3 on the podium for now, because that could absolutely change. 4 tenths, 3 tenths now between Chadwick and Zenje P1 and 2. Down there, Eduardo Leo, a guy I've been watching, now 2 tenths behind Aaron Vasquez. Look at how close it is. The final quarter's coming through. Your race winner, William Chadwick, Jackson Asenje coming all the way down. Who's going to do it? Will there be a last second overtake? No! That is where we are going to finish for heat number 1. The cookie crumbling down there for Kyle Valero. He's not able to overtake Eduardo Leo, and Leo likewise over Aaron Vasquez, who finishes in P5. Closing down the roster, Tim State, Nico Godoy rounding things out as they take the scenic route to finish our time here on Spa-Francorchamps for Heat 1. We got to qualify that because we are going to flip the grid around for our next race. Yeah, cheers. Good to see Tim State, our VR gamer for heat number 1 of racing at Spa. Of course, Nico Godoy, a little bit of a rough start after the reverse grid, so we'll see what he can do next time around. He'll get flipped back up to P1, see if he can hold it down up there for the next heat. There we go. I figured it out. But he's coming across the finish line right now, and that will signal the end of heat number 1, AMX 10 Race 1, Season 4. All right, Connor, take us through the breakdown. Were there any surprises that stood out to you for Heat 1?
Not really, actually. There's nothing really major. Yeah, we just saw those big teams battle it out, and it's just great to see that competition. It's across the board in any league, any series, any pro series. It's always there, and the competition's always there. And yeah, it's great to see all these new faces and new names and new teams and new teams that with new drivers. It's really good to see. And yeah, we've got the Jaimo coming out on top, and Jackson in a P2, which yeah, Jackson's always up there, so yeah, no big surprises to be honest. So yeah, good racing all around.
And now we're going to do it all over again for one final time tonight. Heat number 2. It's going to be another standing start off the line. After a reverse grid, you're going to see the SART, South American Racing Team, livery on Nico Godoy's car in P1. As the engines start to rev, we are green, good to go. Off the line, Nico Godoy in front for now, but right behind him, Tim State, Simon Demori, and everyone flipping around. A spin off already right in the dead center of the track. Will the duck-off racing cars be able to avoid each other? It looks like also another hit there on Zuba. As he spins back to the back, it's Philippa Zuba Zamperlini. Bears, Battlestar Galactica, and everything back there along with them in P13, 14, and 50. What a carnage start to the race, but in the end, the big surprise, the big winner, Nico Godoy, who gets a 0.5 lead on Tim State. The reverse grid paying off for our race leaders through the first turn.
Yeah, and we see the Jaimo car, William up the inside, huge contact. Jackson's been hit a little bit. The Altus car with Leo coming through as well. We saw the Hymo car and the Altus car stick together for a while there. The BenQ car at the inside making position, and there's our crash in the bottom right. The two teammates obviously going off. I feel so bad. I can imagine the Discord's a bit awkward at the moment. So, yeah, we'll let them sort them out in the Discord. But up the inside, the Apex car's going to have a look. The Frenchman up the inside, and he's got that move done. What a great move that was. He's been really good there. A lot of grip around there. So I wonder if people are going to start sending around the inside and the outside there. I think they've got a lot of trust in the car there from looking there. BWT car trying to have a look as well of Nico. Just trying to find as much grip. Obviously getting overtaken there, you're going to lose a little bit of momentum, and you'll be a little bit fuzzy in the head going, oh, now I've got to get back in the groove. So, and it looks like he's already back in the groove, and he's got that little gap there, and now everyone's getting the big run onto the back straight, and we're going to see all the big slipstreams, and probably moves down in the hairpin now.
One of the people we are not going to see ever again, Guile Valero, he'll be booster rocketing into the future, so we'll see him maybe at the end of the race. But for the mid-pack, it is a difficult time there. Nico Godoy trying to fight off, but actually, I think it was a defensive move. Oh, the unsafest of rejoins there. I don't know what was going on, but Dornella, the big loser, out as he finds himself spun off the track and into the back of our 15 racers here tonight. Yeah, you can't just zoom back onto the track, guys. You gotta use the ability of your head to turn to the right, turn to the left. Is it safe to cross the street? That's the methodology not implemented there. Now coming through Eau Rouge into Radion, and wow, what a way that we've gotten here tonight. Dornella Zamperlini, Leo Filipazuba, they have had some struggles so far. But to Philippa's credit, he has managed to survive in the position he started in. So will he be able to climb out of that? I don't know. But, not losing out after the reverse grid. Honestly, got to say, our VR gamer Tim State is holding it down for dads, granddads everywhere. The virtual reality truly is tonight. P5.
And here's the replay of the spin here in contact. Yeah, oh, bang. Yeah, I can see where he's going with that, but yeah, just a little bit unsafe. Timing was a little bit out, and yeah, just a bit of contact on the bottom right. And here we go, Jackson up the inside. Like I said, we've seen, and he's around, losing the grip and having the engine in the back end. He's hit the wall. And that's going to be a big contact on the car, and the Canadian goes through with a little bit of damage on the rear. Meanwhile, the Frenchman up the front and the Aaron in P3, and I reckon this might be a very good battle because we've got Aaron, Chadwick, and the Flying Frenchman. So I'm looking forward to this battle, and three big names at the front, so I'm looking forward to that. And he's about to get around the BWT car, which is one of my favourite liveries on the earth. Oh, he's backed out of it, and he's going to get the run through here. He's going to go around the outside, and he's going to have the grip for the next corner. For this one,
Aaron
hard
Vasquez. On the brakes. Oh, and he does have a great angle on it. Good call there. Connor, we are witnessing greatness. This battle for P2 is just so hot right now. A really, really good run by Aaron shows him not only make the overtake happen, hits the curve on the apex, my favorite word in racing, and manages to come out of it not only unscathed, but in P2, a +9 drive for Aaron Vasquez, making it look easy right in front of Simon Demori, who is a racer that we got a chance to see kind of come into his own last season and is really, really developed into one of the top drivers to watch in Season 4. Obviously, I'm saying that one race into the season, so I don't have a lot of data to go on now. Keep an eye out as we go through 68 races this season. We're going to see a lot as he tries to make the revenge overtake happen, maintaining his position, and now on the inside, coming up and around and back into P2. No, he gets taken out again. Aaron Vasquez moving past into that P2 spot. Chadwick even getting a cheeky move on the inside. Whoa, this might be a new P3. William Chadwick sticking it.
Yeah, so Chadwick's up 12 spots and Aaron's up 9. So these guys are pretty much the biggest movers at the night at the moment. And now they're going to be chasing down that P1, which is only about a second and a half. So I would, yeah, the guy that's in P1, I wouldn't be, I'd be half scared that these guys both have slipstream, and I don't think they're going to fight. So that's going to be a battle to watch. Meanwhile, in P7 and P8, there's a good battle down there and a bit further back as well. So there's some good battles down the back as well. But at the moment, this is the main star, the big show up in P3.
That's right, P3, William Chadwick. I was talking about this guy earlier, and if you're a fan of William Chadwick or you just love watching great racing, we've actually gotten a chance to watch William Chadwick race a lot in Real Racers Never Quit, the Team Redline tournament that's going on right now. It's not just that we're producing it, but also that he has been dominating there and really showing that he has what it takes to hang with the best racers in the world. Not only is he designing or helping with the setups operation at Hybo, he's also shown us how to do it on track. And look at the overhead angle coming into the finish line. The final curve so iconic, and we're only at the halfway point. The top three are stable for now. Gael Valero, Aaron Vasquez, and William Chadwick. But what we just got to watch is going to be where the action's at for the next lap at least. It's the battle for really P6. Hesenje, Hovsen, Zuba, Philippa really putting on a show for us here tonight, Connor.
Yeah, they're definitely putting on a show. All of them are, actually. And Jackson just getting the move done there. And I wonder if the Canadian will get a move up the inside here. I've talked about maple syrup in one corner. Wonder if he can slide in there. No. Backs out of it and just lets Jackson deal with the car in front, which that is for position 2. So this is for another couple of dollary dues as well. Jackson just getting a little bit of understeer. No, there's a car there. The BetQ car on the outside, getting a great move there done. And around the outside, that was a beautiful move. Very clean, very easy to do. That's Peter, the man. Was that the sweat you called? Or was that something else? Was that someone else?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yes, no, it was. Sorry, I had to translate a little bit from Australian into English.
Peter making a good move there too, and what? Oh, Aaron making a lot of time on P1 as well, so that's another thing to look out for. Am I halfway through, as we've said already? So we're getting closer and closer to the last couple of laps of AMX of the night. So very exciting for the first couple of races.
Yep, hopping aboard now with Gaston Presta Calavi, a guy that we haven't seen a whole lot of tonight, but he is here in P5, so got to keep an eye out because he has battled hard, thick, and fast against Jackson Assenje for seasons. AMX, over and over again, we see these guys battle it out against each other, and it never ends prettily. This can get a little bit rough and rowdy here, P5 and P6, although there's half a second in between them for now, it might not last much longer. So, yeah, definitely keep an eye on here. So I'm glad we got a chance to highlight Jackson Assenje there for a brief moment before we move on to where else the action is. And currently, that's really just right behind him. Zuba, Hovsen, Philippa. We've been saying their names all night long is because they have been racing each other so hard. And honestly, it's to the benefit of everyone around them who has gotten to maybe get a little bit closer on them. So it's keeping the action in the midfield as thick as ever. And, oh, man, just coming into Stavolo so sick to watch every time as we watch now a guy I said we weren't going to watch, but how wrong I was and how happy I am to be wrong, because Gael Valero booster rocketed into the next dimension. However, following him through the multiverse are Aaron Vasquez and William Chadwick, who have really made up that time, now down to 2/10 apiece between them and our race leader Gael Valero, with even the Drago racer Aaron Vasquez coming along looking for angles to go into the lead.
Yeah, Aaron's very keen. I'd say he's from the GT3s from last season. He wants to come back to Spa and show everyone that he is the king at Spa, and I think he's showing that at the moment. And Chadwick there, he knows he's got that little win in the back pocket, so I wonder if he's going, well, if I just get a podium, I'm pretty happy with that. But saying that, at the same time, they're a race car driver, so they'll want to be up the front and winning. But yeah, what a great battle we've got here. Aaron, look at the concentration on his face. Looking at his timing there for a second, looking back at the apex, and you can see he moves his head too, just to spot that apex and back into the big straight that we keep saying all night and using all that track. Not an off track out there anymore. They've fixed up their off tracks at Spa because I think everyone absolutely hated him. I think that's probably the best word I could probably use. Through the king and see if Aaron gets a move done. We've seen him doing it all night here, but let's see if he gets it down on the apex car. Doesn't backs out of it. He's got 3 more laps, and he's probably got 2 when he comes across the line. The Hymo car sitting there as well with Chadwick in the car. That Chadwick actually hasn't battled that much, I'd say. He's got a lot of rear tyre at the moment, not using it all up. So Chadwick sitting right behind, waiting for his move to arise. And Reed, mate, when are we getting you out of the track, by the way?
Oh, look, buddy, I am practicing. It wasn't here. I think I was practicing in Hockenheim the other day, but I'm trying, okay? I'm getting out there. I'm getting in the sim. I come into work, and I'm like working, and I'm like, no, it's time. We gotta get my lap time down. So Spa, I gotta say, I'm gonna be practicing on that a little bit more this week, and we may see me do what. Oh, okay, we're forecasting. We're forecasting a little bit, guys. This is not scripted. We promise. Aaron Vasquez in the lead on a +10. He's overtaken Gael Valero, and now look at the look of determination. No, you will not pass me. No, that's my bad French accent. No, that's what Gael Valero is thinking in his head right now. He's got to do it for the culture, right? One of them, I guess. Aaron Vasquez in the lead right now. Thousands of years ago, it was galleons on the Spanish seas, but now Gael Valero takes the fight to the Iberian. In the lead is Aaron Vasquez, now pulling away 5/10. I don't understand how you do that. Like,
how?
He was behind by like 5 seconds. I don't know. Anyway, here's the chance, right? For William Chadwick, it's the sickest Hymo setups advertisement ever. Because you got to know he's using them. So yeah, here's time to show us what he's got. Is it good enough to overtake Gael Valero like Aaron Vasquez just did? He is pulling up closer and closer, and with 2 laps left, he's got plenty of time. So obviously right here is not an ideal overtaking spot, but as we check out the battle for 6th in our picture-in-picture, that's where the action's probably going to be, as keep an eye on what Chadwick can do to Gael.
Yeah, Chadwick, like we said before, he's just sitting there waiting, but I'm looking at that bottom right with the battle in P6. Like, it's kind of funny. You go, oh, let's watch, the best people in the world. Then you see battle for 6 and you're like, yep, that'll do. And look at the battle, the BenQ car in the middle. Wobble. Oh, and there's a wreck. 2 cars around, and that's going to lose heaps of time. The Canadian losing heaps of time. Jackson actually going around the outside too, and making another couple of spots. So unfortunate for those 2 drivers. But Chadwick still sitting there, and the Frenchman still sitting there as well. So I think they're actually going to try and keep hold on Aaron, but Aaron just looks like he's out of here. He's not messing around in the Dragon car, and I love the scales on the side too. I saw that just before. That's really cool. So yeah, good battles all around. Meanwhile,
there's another one happening right here. Chadwick moving past Gael Valero, battling neck and neck, wheel to wheel, and through the chicane they come through. It's Chadwick into second. You guys watched the John Wick trilogy. Get ready. It's the Chadwick era coming through as the next the boogeyman of race. I'm really trying to make that happen. I don't know if it's going to stick, but for William Chadwick, he's sticking it into P2, climbing all the way up a +13.
That is a proper boogeyman. As I've completely forgot the Russian name of it, like how you say in Russian.
Baba Yaga.
That's it. I was like, what's the name again? But yeah, he's absolute flying. He's tell you what, those high mode setups must be good because he's absolute flying. I'll tell you what, they're getting some plugs tonight, but yeah, Williams is absolute flying. So he's into P2, so a P1 and a P2. I reckon he'll have a very nice night. And Aaron is absolute flying, already pulling out a second. That is incredible. But for P5, seeing that there's been 2 people dropping off that with that battle, that was really unfortunate. But we got a 2-way battle here and a 3-way battle. So across 5 cars, not bad at all. So the Frenchman actually going to go for a move here on Chadwick here. Has a look up the inside. Chadwick half covers, gets really hard on the brakes there and gets done, finishes the corner out and moving on to the next. White flag.
That's right. That's going to be the white flag waving, as you say, Connor. Aaron Vasquez, a 220.5. Not the fastest lap of the race by any means. If I'm checking my statistics here, and I often do, I can actually tell who is getting the fastest lap so far. Looks like down there is 120.4 from Dino, so he's really putting up some good times. But yeah, the 220.5, not impervious. There's Aaron Vasquez. He looked dominant earlier on, but now might have some competition if he can't hold it together. And that's really where it is for a lot of our racers. They've made a berth for themselves. Can you hold on? Speaking of holding on, we got this battle. Zuba, Philippa coming around the corner right alongside. He's passed for now. Can he hold on? It's Philippa over Zuba into the top 5. Yeah, the corner coming up, and it will be Philippa maintaining that top 5 spot for now.
There's a battle in the back with the Altus cars again. I feel like he's always in a battle pack with about a good 3 cars there. So there's a battle down there as well. And then, yeah, the top 3 just kind of cruising along, to be honest. And look at that. Look at the cars in the background. Huge battle pack. So it's great to see with all the cars battling. I feel like there's not one car that's just on his own besides Aaron out the front with the second with his cheeky $30 he's going to get if he crosses the line in P1. Meanwhile, in the background, look at this. This is what we love to see at AMX. Huge battles and huge little bits of contact. And, oh, talking about contact, I've called it. In the background. And that's Jackson coming up as well, so he's going to get a cheeky position. And there you go, passing someone there. And look at the duck car as well. Fabio, he had an incident at the start and he's back in P10. Oh, not a move. So, coming across the line is your man, the myth, Aaron, taking back Spa that he owns rightly. Comes across the line, Aaron and Chadwick for second after a P1. And the Frenchman absolute flying in the Apex car. Well done, boys. P4, BWT car. And here they all come. Huge battle in the background. Reed, how was that for a race?
And at the spin out at the end, you love to see it burning some rubber. An amazing job there at the end. Aaron Vasquez by over a second, taking that lead away. Seemed insurmountable for so long. Guile Valero maintaining that lead, but Aaron Vasquez took it back and made it look good. Also going to see some spins after a P10 finish there by Fabio Zamperlini, who's got to feel maybe a little bit unfortunate, but a great job recovery driving in that P10 again. So Lucas Dornella is going to have our last word of the night as he finishes in P14. Still in the money, plus $3 in his pocket, right behind Tim State, finishes in P12. Get a few more seconds to check out the fabulous Belgian countryside on our final moments on Spa-Francorchamps tonight. Wow, what a drop. Finish off our second heat of the night. So really, really good race for and can't complain about any of the actions. AMX One or AMX 10. A great way to start off season 4.
Yeah, what an absolute way to start the season off. And, mate, that is pretty much peak racing as you get it. Porsche Cups around Spa and NASCAR at Talladega.
I'm just enjoying the ambiance here, and I love that the music plays. That's the hurry up music. We're all stuck in the same elevator, and I'm pushing the button to get off as fast as possible. So running around, and we're almost there, guys. I mean, look, you can't complain about more time to watch Spa on your screen. It is iconic, to say the least. Also, I really love the Belgian tradition of how they plant their trees in the forest. It's something that actually they're doing more and more places around the world, and love that we can highlight the horticulture, the agriculture, and everything in between here. Also highlighting our session winner, thanks to Ben Q, Aaron Vasquez from Drago Racing in P1, finishing out as a winner tonight in Heat. Right behind him with Gael Valero in P3. Some really, really great racing. I believe these guys, countries have been competing historically for a long time, and that fabulous to see such a fine tradition playing out here in AMX 10. Wow, the pinnacle of racing, and I think it doesn't go to say lightly that that's what we got a chance to see. Right, so excited, and hopefully we can get a chance to hear from some of these guys tonight, because yeah, really interesting to see what they have to say here tonight. So I think we may be hearing from Aaron in just a little bit, but we're going to take a few more spins around Spa there for a second. So, wow, what a night. And Connor, big thanks to you for joining me also. So happy to have you along for some extra analysis. Was there anything that stood out to you during that race?
Basically, I need to get faster in a Porsche Cup car, and that's about it. That's all the notes I've got for tonight. But yeah, awesome racing. Like, the guys are just so, you just know that they're just always on point. They're never like on 80% push limit. They're always at 100%, and yeah, they just keep it there. And it's awesome to watch from a commentary standpoint. And yeah, it's awesome to watch, and I'm sure you loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are for our first interview of AMX Global League Season 4. As soon as we have that ready for you guys, we'll throw that up there and get a chance to hear from some of our racers here tonight. If you would like to be one of the racers in AMX 10 or AMX One, any of the races that you've seen on your screen tonight, we still got a full season ahead. It's a great time to join AMX Global League Season 4. You can do so by heading on over to amxrace.com, where you can pick your race, pick if you see a car track combo that looks good to you. If you only classes, then you can do that in. So it's time to go and head into our interview. So we're going to go ahead, drag him in, and get ready for a little bit of wisdom from Eduardo Leo. All right, just want to go ahead and start off our interview here with Eduardo Leo. I am currently a little bit frozen, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit a quick refresh. But Eduardo, if you wouldn't mind unmuting, and we should be good to go. Eduardo, welcome and congratulations. You had some really, really sick moves. What's it like to come back and race at that level in AMX Season 4?
Yeah, it was, to be fair, a tough start for me to this season. I had some great battles, but yeah, overall I didn't quite bring the performance I would have liked to give. But yeah, overall I think, yeah, it was a pretty nice race, some good battles, as you mentioned, with especially with Aaron the last laps. It was very, very hard racing, but it was, I think, pretty respectful. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Anyways, he got the position in the end. Then I'm unlucky in the heat 2. I got spun by Jackson, I think it was, but it happens sometimes. So yeah, just gotta move on and look forward to the next one.
You should keep track of that through the season so you can tell if it keeps happening. If people are unfamiliar with you, how did you get into sim racing, and then what was it like to get to the point that you are now on your team competing at this high level?
Well, I think COVID was a big turnaround for me, as a lot of people probably did the same as me. I took it a bit more seriously, starting from F1, then moved myself up into iRacing, and grounded myself, starting from the prototypes category, then showing myself, showing my pace. Got contacted first by my team, Ivano Sim Racing, my ex-team, Ivano Sim Racing, and then got the opportunity to join Altus. But yeah, overall, it was a grind I started 3 years ago, and yeah, still trying to achieve my best version of myself.
So what is that best version of yourself? Do you have a goal that you really want to achieve?
Yeah, probably to win a world championship in iRacing, either that being the IR1 or the Porsche Tag Heuer Sport Championship. But other than that, maybe any high-level competition with the best field I can get. If I win it, I'm gonna be happy.
All right, and last but not least, if you have some advice to give to some to sim racers who are trying to raise their level to get better, what would you say to them?
Just believe in yourself. I think being unmotivated and maybe lacking of self-esteem is a big issue in some drivers. So yeah, you just gotta believe in yourself that you can do everything you want. You just gotta train harder and harder, and the results will come sooner or later.
All right, well, it is great to get a chance to watch you in tonight's race, and good luck in the future, and I look forward to seeing you back for more races in AMX Global League Season 4.
Yeah, thank you. See you in the next one.
All right, that's going to do it for our first interview. Coming up next, we'll get a chance to hear from, looks like potentially Dino Filippa, but still getting it ready for our next interview. And it looks like we are ready to go. Going to go ahead and welcome the first time we are getting a chance to talk to Dino Filippa. So Dino, welcome to AMX. How are you?
Hello, Ray. Hello, all the guys that are watching the stream. Yes, my first race on this league. That was a really funny race.
Okay, so walk us through that race. What was it like? You're joining AMX for the first time, and I'm guessing you probably have some experience racing Porsche Cup cars on Spa, right?
Yes. I do a lot of races in the Porsche on Spa, but for this race I not practice too much. But I think I have a decently pace, and I can gain a lot of position on the races.
Okay, so gaining those positions, it was a really difficult race tonight. Did you feel a lot of pressure racing at this high level?
Yes. This grid, we have too much level. And on the two race, I have to start on from the back, and on the second race I have a spin on the first turn and conditionate my race. But yes, I have good battle guys, and he really funny, and I have to put all the focus in all the moves for avoid any incident.
Well, you did a great job racing tonight. How did you get started with sim racing?
I started, I think, on 10 years ago on Nerf Factor, and on 218 I moved to iRacing, and I started put more focus on sim racing because before I only do sim racing for a hobby.
Wow. That's a very short time to improve, but a long time to be sim racing. All right, so we are glad to see you here in AMX Global League Season 4. Do you have a favorite car or track to race that we can expect to see you race in the future?
I think Porsche Cup is one of my favorite and GT3 cars, but I am a driver who likes all the cars on formulas or prototype. I think I am not good, but I like to. And my favorite tracks is Road America, Daytona, Spa, and Imola, I think.
All right. Well, when we have those races, then I expect to see you there. So congratulations on your racing tonight. It was great to have you in AMX Global League Season 4, and look forward to seeing you again.
Okay, thank you for these races, and congrats for the podium in 2 races.
Thank you very much. All right, going to go ahead and get ready for our next interview. Our final interview of the night will be with the Frenchman who led for most of our final race. It's going to be Gael Valero coming your way. So go ahead and get things started with an interview with Gael. So should be ready to go here in just a minute. And I'm excited not only because we are closing out our first day of races in AMX Global League Season 4, but also because I haven't talked to my second best friend, Gael Valero, in a very long time. Gael, how are you doing? What have you been up to since AMX Season 3?
Nothing much, I guess. When was it actually? The end of the November, I guess.
Like a month ago or something.
That's so far away in sim racing time. I did already 4 or 5 events. It's been okay, I guess. Small break for weekly races, but we keep on racing on various events anyway, so.
Okay, you know, Gael, we've had a chance to talk to you a few times, but I always wonder what it's like to be competing at the highest level of sim racing. When you're already really, really good at sim racing, what do you have to get better on? What are you focusing on to improve?
It's already a big statement saying top of the league. I don't consider myself quite that far, sadly. But
well, then if you want to get that far, what do you need to improve on?
Commitment, practice, be smart, lot of time. I don't know, many things actually to be able to perform at the top, and maybe just an ounce of talent.
Well, yeah, if you have some spare talent to share, send some my way. But I wonder a lot about, when you say being smart in racing, we all have tendencies or habits that can be hard to break. Are there any characteristics that you have been, trying to stop yourself from making a stupid mistake or something like that?
Well, there's 2 ways you can do about this. Basically, you learn from your mistake, so you do everything bad first, and then you try to, how do you say? Not erase, but scrap them out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go my way. I was very cautious from the get-go, and that also poses other problems as not being aggressive enough for overtaking as such. So it's a balance, and yeah, the most important part obviously is learning from your mistakes and always progressing like this.
Yeah, I guess I'm more of the make mistakes first and then try to fix them, but obviously that can be a little bit difficult sometimes. So it's great to have you back here in AMX Global League Season 4. Are you going to be racing in anything else with Apex Racing in the meantime? Where should we look to watch more Gael Valero, which is obviously what we're all trying to do?
I will see. Maybe we have this front-wheel drive races. Very interesting indeed. But yeah, it's actually a bit sad. We now have the separation between AMX Tier 1 and the AMX 10. I think I would have maybe spent more time now in these. But yeah, everything looks interesting for now. We'll see what happens in the future.
That's an excellent way to put it. So I appreciate your grace and decorum, as always, Gael Valero. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Congratulations on your placements in tonight's race, and look forward to seeing you more in AMX Global League Season 4.
Thank you. See you next time.
Back to the end of our final race of the tournament, or our final race of the day. Oh my God, we're already at the end of Season 4. No, we're just at the beginning of Season 4. We're just getting started. What a day of races, Connor. Was there a moment that stood out to you?
You're putting me on the spot now. Probably just the starts, to be honest. I think like the start. Race 1 start, I reckon, was pretty good in the Porsche Cup. Yeah, the battles in the NASCAR was awesome. Then, yeah, I think all around, like, there was just battles from the top to the bottom in the Porsche Cup. So I think all around, it's just been a great night worth of racing. And, yeah, I think it's pretty much, if that's the start of the season, only up, really.
Yeah, so many more races to come. We are 2 races through a 68 race calendar. If you want to check out any of the races or even sign up for a few, amxrace.com is the place to do that. And while you guys are checking all of that out, you can also follow us for more information on social media. Up-to-the-minute updates, announcements, content, highlights, everything in between. AMX Global on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and Instagram. We also go live 3 times a week for 3 race days, 6 races every week. And you can watch that all on YouTube and Twitch. So if you feel like subscribing or following or whatever you want to do, we'd love to have your support. And we do appreciate everyone who came out and raced and watched, everyone in front of the camera and behind the scenes. A big thanks to our production crew for making us look fabulous as always. Oh, okay. I'm exhausted, and I'm sure some of our racers are too. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts to yours for joining us for AMX Global League Season 4. So starting a brand new season, and we have so many more races to go. So we're going to see each other a lot this season. We hope to see you back here again for even more sim racing action in AMX Global League Season 4. Thanks for watching.